takes a while, but I'm right here. All love never goes out of style. Sometimes it takes a while, but I'm right. Oh, I'm right. On top of the world, releasing my need to control everything, knowing I am a pearl. You can't love yourself.
Welcome everyone to the show. You're on Two Step Tribe right now. Myself, Tracy Two Step, Uncle Rhino, and tonight we have JB Cloud joining us here. Again, it is Two Step Tribe. Please don't spell that. It's the number 2. Two Step Tribe. Check us out. Go to YouTube. Grab your loved ones, your friends, if they're not your friends, share your dogs. Share this. It's a very important show tonight that we're going to bring you from our family out here. And it is for Jimmy Ninja Cowboy, which a lot of the artists would know him as. So for Jimmy, please take your time, grab your loved ones, get logged in. You can interact with us. Tonight will be a roundtable discussion, and we do have Jimmy's music. We are, I was going to say at a loss for words, but you can't be when it comes to Jimmy. We're fortunate. Tonight, Jimmy was slated to be on Two Step Tribe, and I had constant communication, and he shared his whole drive. So we actually have Jimmy's music. Not only that, I actually have something that he has not released that I've been told to go ahead and in this show tonight, you're going to be with us for 2 hours as a special edition and tribute. And again, you're on Two Step Tribe, the number 2, Two Step Tribe. Thank you for joining and stand by with us. You got Uncle Rhino, who's always here with us at Two Step Tribe. Uncle Rhino, we've grabbed JB Cloud. Say hello to everyone and we'll get the show going.
Hey guys, sorry, I'm outside. We got dogs and motorcycles going by. Man, I don't claim to be best friends with Jimmy. I love the man, and yeah, I've learned a lot. I've known him for years, and we've talked for years. Back when he had his gym, and I mean, just in the past year, we've worked together on music, and just like Uncle Rhino, I like to help folks, and I tried to help him. He had a different sound, a different style, and was trying to fit in. And I was giving him pointers, tips, ideas, especially marketing stuff. And even our latest round, I mean, he'd come over to the house and help me wire an internet. He was supposed to come this week and help me with the new house. He wanted to go to the music conference that Cherie put on, Songbird Cherie Swartz down in New Braunfels, that Uncle Rhino was at, and asked if he could ride with me. And I wasn't going to go because I've been in a car wreck and I hurt pretty bad. But you know what? I knew it meant a lot to him, and we'd have some windshield time. So we had a real deep conversation, the 2 hours, 4 hours there and back. And I gave him marketing ideas. He was so excited. I came up with an idea for a T-shirt, Ninja Cowboy, and then underneath the front of it, you pull it up, and it'll say Ninja Cowboy on the back, and it'll say ask me to see my ninja costume, and you pull it up, and then it's a little ninja face printed on there. He loved that idea. We blew past Lukenbach, and I thought he was going to jump out the window, and he said he'd never been, and I was like, oh man. Tell you what, we got to get there. We don't want to be late, but I tell you what, we're going to come back tomorrow on Sunday, and we'll spend however long you want to there. And he just was like a little kid at a playground, and he got to shoot some video. And I told him to take a picture. He wasn't going to. I said, you got to take a picture up there at the post office. You got to sing a little song, and they got a church going, so he did a little gospel thing. And man, that's all he talked about for about 30 minutes when we left. When I moved, I didn't realize I just moved 2 blocks from the guy, his mom's house, and I've seen some cars over there. And if they're watching and listening, my sincere condolences. If you need anything, I'm just literally down the road, literally 2 blocks from your house. But I know he was excited to work with Uncle Rhino and some ideas to get him out there. He talked a lot about his boat, talked a lot about his kids. And, one thing Uncle Rhino and I talked about is something that he was chasing, but he didn't know was already there. And how so many people love this guy. He touched so many people. He worked with so many people. I've heard so many stories. He worked with me. I've been 3 years since my bad wreck, and he had me trying some stretching and some exercising. We went out to the park a couple times and had me do a 40-day challenge, which I'm starting back up. And I talked to a lady, Sarah, today, who called me and trained her son. And her son got killed. And he even dedicated one of his tournaments to her son's memory. And it just touched so many people that, and I wish he could have seen half of that.
I agree with you. And we're all fortunate even that came into touch with Jimmy. I know all about your carpool trip, actually. So I'm one of the fortunate ones that was getting all those audio messages nonstop.
Oh my God, you too, huh? Yeah, I started thinking too. I was like, dude, I'm old. Don't send me text messages.
Yeah, so we would talk. I'm actually, JB, going to grab Tony Cox, and I'm going to grab Garrett Dylan. They're also super close here. Welcome on right now. We have Tony Cox and Garrett Dylan joining us. They are very close to, I say Jimmy, it's Jimmy Ninja Cowboy up.
Ninja Cowboy.
Ninja Cowboys.
I love that. And so, Uncle Rhino, you're a little quiet. I'll introduce. So, JB, it is wonderful to have you here at Two Step Tribe. Your carpool trip, I heard all about that. And that was fun and funny. So I loved every moment of that. And I'm glad that y'all had that moment. Garrett Dylan, Garrett, as far as dojos and MMA backgrounds, as along with artistry, you're literally the person that they said, get Garrett. Garrett is the guy when it comes to sensei or MMA or anything like that. Yeah. Let's grab Garrett. And Tony, I see you. He's usually here in Texas. He's in New York. Tony, you've been very close, as well as Garrett, to Jimmy for quite some time. You've played in bands together. You're friends for a really long time, and you are right now that point of contact for a large piece of the family. So I wanted everyone to say hi to you and tell you that I know it's been rough for everybody. My heart goes out to the babies, to the family. There's not many words that I can say that will make it feel better, except that there's people here. And there are
all four of the babies.
There's 4, the 2 girls and the 2 boys. I want to make sure of that. Both girls, I've had connections through the kids. Now, Tony, I think I'd like to jump over and go back to Jimmy with Garrett and Tony. So, Tony, I'm going to let you kind of lead. Do you want Garrett to start or you? And then meet JB and Uncle Rhino.
I'm sorry. One more time.
Hey, Tony, before you come back from New York, make sure you shower and wash all that northern stuff off you, man.
Oh my God, dude.
It's
like it's crazy.
JB, you were talking about the shirt design, and Tracy, you mentioned the dojo and Jimmy. I when I first met Jimmy, I met him as a teacher, as a mentor, and I was fortunate enough to now I'd call him a very dear friend. But this is the first shirt I ever got as a white belt doing jiu-jitsu in Jimmy's dojo. So these are the shirts he made, and that's what we got. I still have all of my. I wear them all the time. Yeah, Jimmy was fascinating, and he came around in my. I mean, it happens to all of us. I think at least once in your life, you meet someone at the time that you maybe not the right time, but the time that you need it the most. And that's when I found Jimmy. He saved me in a lot of ways, and not because he gave me an example of how to live, but because he showed me how to find myself, how to love myself. And I'll never be able to repay him for that. I never would have been able to if I tried. I'm doing something in life now that is my passion because Jimmy, asked me one day, why are you doing sales? You don't want to do sales. And, he kept on. He was persistent. And, we argued a lot. We loved each other a lot. We talked about a lot of deep stuff, as I'm sure he did with all of you as well. And
Absolutely.
Sometimes I'd come away from a conversation thinking that man is crazy. Why do I've had it up to here with this. I'm done. And then I'd think about it for a little while, and I needed that in that moment. I needed a little conflict. I needed some humility. He might have been happy, sad, mad, glad, whatever in a day, but he was consistent with what I needed, with what you probably needed. And
the principles. So Garrett,
yes.
Did you call him sensei and you ran a dojo always. Together?
Yeah. So when I first started going there just to train, he taught me a lot. And I think he saw that I was really it wasn't that I was so much passionate about martial arts as I was passionate about growth in myself. I was searching for something, and he believed in me at a time where I most certainly didn't believe in myself, and took me under his wing a lot. And so I began to work there. Began to help out with little things around the dojo. I didn't get paid. I just was there because I wanted to be. And he found out slowly that my father was a musician. I had been playing music since I was a kid, and it was like his eyes lit up. And then we weren't talking about martial arts no more. We were talking about music. And I said, oh man, I haven't played in years. I mean, I play at home, but I quit all the music thing. I'm trying to have a normal life. And he said, nope, get on the spaceship. We're going. And got me back to playing. And he got me back to, I finding a love in the things that made my life special in the first place. And through all of that, he became Jimmy to me, but I never once, when I would first see him or I'd first answer the phone, always, Sensei Jimmy, Sapuatika, Jimmy. He was a dear friend, and I would hope that he thought of me the same way. But most importantly, he was a mentor and a really steadying force in the weird waves that life can bring.
So Garrett, so then he would have been your sensei. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes,
okay.
Ma'am.
So he was your sensei. So what some of you may not know is that Jimmy's an artist. He's an MMA fighter, and we'll let Tony get into a little bit more. He had a whole list for tonight, literally, that when I brought that list up, I had to do it with Garrett and Tony because it talks about certain things that I didn't have all the information. I knew about music. But when it came to everything you wanted me to talk about, I was like, oh boy, between Garrett and Tony, we're going to have to figure out for Jimmy. But I guess I'll back up and say to everyone out there that is close to Jimmy, or even if you weren't, please go check out JimmyNinjaOfficial.com and you can find everything there. He's an author. He's a musician. First off, he's a father. Let me back up. He's a father. Family, father first. MMA champion. He is a worldly soul. He's been in the film commission offices here out of Texas, worked on multiple projects. And that's where Garrett and Tony are going to know a lot more of that side as well and his music. JB, you had the recent experience of being able to be in a carpool with him and in a car.
You left out, Tracy. You left out. He was a friend to everybody that needed one.
Yes. Yep. Now I was going to let you do that. I was about to roll up to you and say, and Uncle Rhino, as you would certainly speak right now and say, he's definitely a life force to everyone. He was always a friend. And so I was going to back up a minute and let you speak, and then we'll get back to the guests.
Well, all I can say is I'll make mine pretty short. When Jimmy and I first met, it was funny. We were laughing. Jimmy had it was at the Texas State Songwriting Championship that he'd handed off to Cynthia, and Cynthia had been operating, and he came to support, and I was there to support for the Texas artists and writers. And I saw this guy, this little muscled up guy he was wearing rainbow, I believe they were rainbow suspenders. And he had dyed his mustache green. I had never seen that in my life. And I've seen some stuff. So I didn't say, I'm just shaking everybody's hand, meeting. Everybody's got their thing. And he and I introduced ourselves, and he looked me square in the eye and shook my hand, and I introduced myself, and he laughed. He said, I know. And he told me his name. And I told him, I said, well, anybody with a green mustache is worth getting to know. And that was how we started right there. And you were saying that you made him feel like, or he made you feel like the guy was crazy, and you'd walk off and be like, this guy's nuts. This guy's crazy. Well, I'm karma. I'm the cosmic design. I did the same thing to Jimmy. So with me and Jimmy would walk off feeling like I was nuts or I was crazy. And then, and then Jimmy would come back in about a day or so, and he'd send me a voice message going, he called me Bubba Samurai or the General. That was his name. He would call me on those voice messages, and he would send me a voice message to either Bubba Samurai or the General. And he would let me know he'd been thinking about what we talked about. And he's starting to see, he's like, I'm starting to, I think I know what you mean, and then would come the conversation via talk to text, or audio files.
Can I ask, did everybody have a nickname?
Oh yeah.
I was G Money. That was all from the first email. I sent him an email I said, hey, I've heard about your dojo around town. I'd like to come and visit. And he answered back and he said, Dear G Money. And since then, it's the only thing I've never heard him say my full name, I don't think.
Let us sample too.
I think we've all probably did. I see a lot of your comments coming in, and I do see you all tuning in. Please share, and this will get to more people. We are on radio. We are on network. We are on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
I see Kirk coming in. We're doing this as a round table tonight. People are in different locations. We got Kirk House. Welcome on, Kirk House. Two-step tribe number 2. Looks like you're somewhere where it's still daylight. And,
I'm in California.
Yes, and Tony's in New York. It's super dark there.
Yes.
So, Kirk House, do you know? JB Cloud, and have you met with Tony Cox before? And Garrett.
Josh, how y'all doing? What's going on, man?
What's going on?
House.
Yes,
How y'all
Kirk
doing?
House.
Good.
Good.
I know Kirk very well. The Adelaide music scene. Everybody knows Kirk. Everybody knows Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy and I used to be 2 peas in a pod, man.
Yeah.
When?
Peas and carrots. It's like peas and carrots.
Right.
There. I love it. So, Kirk, we were
What
just talking about how Garrett,
do you think?
the dojo.
We get, at least within the hour we get home. I gotta get up early, for that.
We can hear you.
We got time, dude.
Oh, shit, sorry.
Yeah, if we're on the phone, can we mute it? There we go.
Tony,
My bad.
it's okay. I see you walking around. Listen, y'all, it's been it hasn't been a fun time these last few days at all. So, Tony, I know for a fact that Tony has had first-hand encounters that he's dealing with the families, and I know that you're not even at home right now, and I know it's super rough. And I just heard that, and that's okay because we like it to be real and organic. So I want to give you a minute there.
My apologies for it being dark. I ran out of natural light. All I got is Coors Light. I'm sorry.
That'll work.
Well, Coors Light, Jimmy would say, works just fine. So
Yeah.
anybody that knew Jimmy would say, well, then I'll take the Coors Light. So Kirk House, musician out of Texas too. Tony Cox, musician as well. Garrett didn't even mention who his dad was, but that is how Jimmy Ninja, as soon as he met Garrett as a student in MMA and fighting in that world, because he was very popular there, then they started talking about music, and then Jimmy's eyes would light up. So Garrett, don't let us forget that part, but I wanted you to go down his list. Do you remember that I had to get on the phone with you and Tony and say, what does this mean?
Well, I think it's important because, we're all in different ways. We're all artists to some, in some field still. And sometimes when you say that you're in a creative field and someone says, oh, what have you done? And you say, well, I've done this and that, and they haven't heard of it. They think, well, he must be terrible. I haven't heard of it, because apparently art has to be very popular or it's bad. And Jimmy never once blinked when someone would say, well, I haven't heard of that. I mean, when I first started to really be around him every day, he'd say, well, I'm writing a book. And I go, okay, great, man. What are you talking about? You're writing a book. We live in Abilene. Come on now. Hey, bud. Haven't talked to you in a long while. But I thought, he's not writing a book. He's there's no way this man's writing a book. Well, then he did. Then we're talking to publishers on the phone, or he is, and I'm sitting there with him, and I'm like, my God, this man wrote a book. And then he had a book in his hands that had his name on it, said by, and
he does. I have the cover in here, just so you know, Garrett. Anyone that's listening, if you go into the bio with the show, especially at Two Step Tribe on YouTube, everything you're talking about, and to get the book and purchase it is also listed. So I was going to
if you haven't read it and you're a fan of Jimmy, or you're a reader, someone that likes philosophy, someone that is into Hermeticism, someone that likes alternative types of thought, it's a great read, and it's worth your money. It really is. And I was blown away by that. But to continue, he says, well, I'm putting together this gig, you want to come and play? I thought, well, I'll go play at a gig. There's going to be a few people there. Well, it was packed. Okay. So eventually he tells me, well, I'm trying to write a script about the origin story of Mr. Miyagi, and I want to play young Miyagi. And by that point, I thought, well, some bitch, he's definitely writing a script, and so he's co-main evented for a world title in a mixed martial arts cage fight. He's done combat jiu-jitsu. He's a black belt jiu-jitsu player, and instructor, obviously. He's a musician. He's had music videos from the 90s. He had one in the 90s. He had one a little over a year ago, a few months ago, something like that. He put together one for Pearl.
Oh, yeah. We're in that.
He was it. Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the documentary one.
No, I'm kidding. Need the mailbox
Garrett,
money now. Come on.
Do you mind, Garrett, if I ask you something here? I do see you there. Steve, I see you there. Jason, I see you. The newest musicians he was working with. I do see you, bud. Nice to see you. I have a question for you because Jimmy sent me a list. So the only reason I'm stopping you is because you're probably going to go over something. And I wanted to read this list. So you're going to understand it better than I'm going to. I knew him very well, but there's some of this that I didn't go into detail. USWF World Contender, NHB.
Yeah, so he co-main evented mixed martial arts cage fight for a world title.
Okay. Then there's American Gladiator champ.
Yeah, I was going to get there. He was on American Gladiator. Tried that out.
All right, MTV2 video film finalist.
Yes, so he had a music video in the 90s that was in the MTV. It was a finalist for, I think it was MTV videos for people that hadn't broke in yet at that level.
Was that Angel?
It was Angel.
Yeah, I think it was Angel. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you haven't seen it and you love Jimmy or you knew Jimmy, it's awesome. It's so good.
It's Jimmy.
It's the most Jimmy thing you've ever seen.
It is Jimmy.
Jimmy. The epic, he says that. These are his words.
I'm
epic
sure.
and CBS president Ron Alexberg featured artist. USA's Burn Notice 2011.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
say Burn Notice, yeah.
Real
The show.
fast.
Go.
Kirk's already doing it. If you've heard it once, you've heard it 1,000 times. Bruce Campbell and him had a scene together in an episode of Burn Notice. And when he first told me this, it was during that period where I was thinking, this man's nuts. He's telling me all these things he's doing that he's not doing. And then I come in one day to the office, in the back room in the dojo, and the kids are there, and he goes, we're going to watch it. So we sat down and watched it, and there he is. Talking to Bruce Campbell, so yeah, he was in an episode of Burn Notice. That's true. What's next?
That's cool. 2010 Battle of the Beach champion.
I don't even know that one.
Okay.
We gotta go find someone.
Fight Time 1 champion.
Yeah, that's a mixed martial arts.
Okay. USA Judo finalist.
Yep.
And Jimmy Ninja Entertainment with a lot of old and new music.
Hey, I mean,
starting events and everything else. Yep.
People say this
Jimmy
all the time.
Posted a bio of himself back on August 13th, and everybody needs to go look at that. I didn't realize he was in Pat Benatar's video to Shadows in the Night.
Yes.
He was in.
Yes.
He did so many different things.
He met Bigfoot. He's been to the moon. I mean, that's what I'm gonna say. Most of the time when someone says it about someone in this day and age, and I can faithfully say this, I'm getting a doctorate in history. So this is my topic. People say this all the time about people today, and it's not true. They say, oh, they're like a modern day Renaissance man. And really they just do one or two things. Jimmy truly was a Renaissance man. He had the most varied collection of things that he wanted to do. And if he wanted to do it.
If Jimmy told me that the moon came to him, I wouldn't question him.
And I don't know how, I mean, even bad ideas, if he had it in his mind, he was doing it.
Yeah.
Then
his resume is like a CVS receipt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I like that, JV. Here's this picture. He sent this to me. He said, I want certain pictures shown.
That was that was that was before the co-main event title fight that he had.
Okay. All right.
He was strategic in different things that he did. Like he was the most assured of himself, non-cocky, non-arrogant, but also he knew who he was, and he was going to make sure that you're not going to paint a picture of him of something that he's not. He's going to let you know. No. And so
I like that, Kirk. Every one of you are correct. Now, I have a couple of things in here. So for anybody that's tuning in by radio or any other type of form, because we are a broadcast, we are radio, we are a podcast, we're all three, network. YouTube at Two Step Tribe, we are live, actually. We are bringing up different pictures. We're going to be playing his music. I want you to make sure that you see visually what we are going to be showing you in here, and that is what I did. Is I just brought up something. Now, here's another one that you both sent me, and look, he wrote on this, and I'm like, I can't understand what is on this, but he wanted me to know.
So some of you will probably recognize the man and the incredibly young-looking Sensei Jimmy Ninja. But he's taking a picture there with Don Fry, who is UFC Hall of Famer.
The man,
Pride Hall of, if Pride had a Hall of Fame, he'd be in that. He's truly a pioneer, might be the trailblazer, pioneer, originator of mixed martial arts cage fighting. And the most American dude that might have. He's the fact that he's not wearing American flag boxing, like those right. Hammer pants there is amazing to me. He's a red-blooded.
There's pro-America, then there's pro-America.
And he wanted
he
me
is
to
the
make sure
flag.
that Kirk and Garrett and Tony and JB and Uncle Rhino are on here right now live. We're all in here. He wanted us to make sure to tell everybody he also knew Caldwell. So Caldwell was big. I love UFC and MMA and all that. This is how we had these conversations. So I am supposed to let you know that's his friend. And so as Jimmy would have been on tonight, we talked about quite a bit, which Uncle Rhino and I have had Jimmy on a couple of times. We'll release some more later on. Tonight, we really wanted a personal sort of round table. And Uncle Rhino, speak up at any time. Tony, you do the same. I know you're out there in New York on the street.
I am.
That's why Jimmy liked me so much is that he saw me in him and that him and I will both talk everyone else's ear off. we just would sit there and yell at each other to see who could talk the loudest, I think, in the car most of the time.
So I just mainly did the lead stuff, so I didn't do a lot of talking. Man. Go ahead.
My biggest thing with Jimmy was I wanted to be able to work on Jimmy because I saw Jimmy as an incredible asset. I saw him as one of the most beautiful, incredible jewels to ever come out of Texas.
He's and
you made the well, that's it. But I think more like a diamond. And we were talking before. You were speaking before about how when people would walk up and say they did this, and people may not recognize what they did. Jimmy would never bat an eye. That was because he understood something remarkable about the business that you only understand from the inside of the business. And that is a diamond's only job is to be a diamond. A diamond's only job is to be impenetrable and to light up everything around it. Any little bit of light that hits it, it lights up the space. That's the diamond's job. But the miner and the jeweler are the ones who are in charge of bringing that precious stone to the world. So just because people don't know a diamond exists or have never seen it doesn't mean the diamond did anything wrong. It just means the people who are in charge, the gatekeepers and the marketing people, didn't do their job. And I had a big talk with Jimmy when we were out in New Braunfels, and he made a clip about it. But he was talking about being different. And I told him, man, you're exactly what the entire music industry needs, not just what Texas needs. You're better than it deserves and exactly what it needs. You're different. And he said, but am I too different? And I said, bro, Charlie Chaplin came in fourth in a Charlie Chaplin lookalike contest. These people can stare dead at it, won't know what they're looking at.
Won't know it's real. Yeah.
No.
I mean, the Beatles
and Janis Joplin got laughed out of Beaumont, Texas, by those short-sighted, half-blind people, came back as an international rock star, and they groveled on all fours for her.
Now, Uncle Rhino, I have something for you. Can I interrupt each of you really quick to do something because you brought it up? There's two things I have to do. We have a mom who's in here talking and asking, is that the artist who was going to play for our kids that are gone? Yes, that answer is yes. Jimmy is slated on September 27th to play at the Sergeant Two-Step Festival, and that is for the parents of the kids that are no longer here. He is a featured artist. That is,
he'll still be with us when we play. He'll still be with us.
Colleen is a mother tuning in right now and just asking that. So yes, Colleen, this artist was going to play for our boys, and we will still do something for him there. And I have something for you, Uncle Rhino, really quick, because Jimmy, if anyone that knows Jimmy knows, I have something here. Rather than go through it all, I want to play it for you really quick so you can hear exactly what Jimmy did say to Uncle Rhino. Check this out.
Ninja Cowboy. What's going on, everybody? Back in the gym, man. I want to leave y'all with a thought. Uncle Rhino told me yesterday in New Braunfels that you have to really think about. When Janis Joplin lived in Beaumont, Texas, they wouldn't even give her the time of day. Think about that. Ninja Cowboy up.
So, Uncle Rhino, I knew where you were going, and I said, hold on, I've got to get it. And that was literally what the conversation was. And he told me about your conversation. So I wanted others to see his beautiful face and words of what you told him. He was proud to hear that. And I'm glad that we have the clips we did. I'm glad that he blasted me. Uncle Rhino calls it fire hosing because I do it too. He would fire hose the heck out of me until like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So
I forgot him going. He didn't stop.
No, he did not stop. I
Either
have
right.
some other things in
talking
here.
or sharing or anything. You just get him going. He's going. Going,
And,
going.
But that comes from
Yes,
a
I do.
love and a
It is.
creative, spiritual
Uh-huh. Hands down.
love, and there's
Yeah.
not enough of that in the world, and
Hands down.
that's part of what made him a 1 in an 8 billion masterpiece, and the same thing applies to each one of y'all sitting on this call right now. Each one of y'all is irreplaceable. And that was something that he and I would go around and around on. Even when we had a battle of wits, sometimes we'd have that point. He'd say something and I'd go, okay, let's go. And we'd go back and forth on the phone, and it'd last about 2 days sometimes. But
Mm-hmm.
but he was always insightful. He was always doing everything that he ever said from a place of personal service to everything and everyone around him, and that's why he was so easy for me to respect and to love.
Most definitely. And then now I have a choice that it seems like Kirk, Tony, Garrett, JB, and Uncle Ryan. I'm going to turn to you real quick. I have a clip. It's less than a minute that will explain who Jimmy is. So everyone out there that didn't know all of him, that I'd like to get out. And then at the end, don't forget, I've got music, of course, obviously. But I have another clip at the end. I'll wait because it is family. It's the kids. But I have one right now, and I think it might be the right time to play this so that everybody understands. We're talking about Jimmy Ninja, and I have something that will give them, who is Jimmy Ninja? What are they talking about if you didn't happen to know him? I have a feeling most of you did, and I see you turning up. You're correct, Sarah, most definitely. So I'm trying to pay attention to each of you, but I'd like to play this really quick, and I think it will answer everything for everybody. So Tony, Garrett, Kirk, JB, and Uncle Rhino, let me show you this clip really quick that I know that I have because of something that Jimmy was doing called Rockin' Box. So we'll get to that a lot later. But Garrett, you're shaking your head. That is something marketing wise that I was working with him on, because Uncle Rhino's correct. When he gave him that information, I said the same thing. I said, man, you're eclectic. Like you're unique. We've got to move you into a different area and let's start thinking about what you have. So let's look at this really quick. This is Jimmy Ninja, and it's going to show you every side. Right here on Two-Step Tribe. Here it is. You got Uncle Rhino here. JB Cloud, Garrett Dylan, Kirk House standing by. We got them on both coasts, literally. Here it is. Jimmy Ninja, Cowboy Up.
Mr. Worldwide.
It's a Cowboy Up. Here it is. What I want you all to know is that is a song it's been his song, but that's a new version. If anyone noticed that is a new version of Ninja Cowboy. He sped it up. Did you notice that, Tony and Garrett? You two would have been the ones to notice what he did.
Yeah, I remember the first time, hearing that when we went and did a lot of song swaps together at different gigs and stuff. Before I met Tony, Jimmy introduced Tony and I about 2
We met
years
at Horace
ago.
Hall.
Yeah, met at Horace Hall in the Stockyards about 2 years ago now. But we would play gigs together, and he would play that. And if you've ever played music before, Kirk, you probably know this. Tony, I've seen know it. You sometimes you get into a feeling when you're playing a song. Just on a certain night, something you do. It just gives you something. And he would always end up speeding that up. Now, he never told me that was something he wanted to do, but I didn't notice that it was faster because I was so used to him doing it that one, the way I had heard it, and I haven't heard it in, a year or so now, and but that's kind of how I remember it almost.
Yeah, that song is his testimony, literally. Like Joey, I see you there. What he did is he went in and he sped it up. So if you go listen to the original, and he has this dated as October 3rd. That he was going to put it back out. And again, I'll get with Uncle Rhino and Tony and Garrett, because Tony, you're working with the Family Direct. So that is why I keep bringing you up. And I see everybody in here, Lexi. I see that you just met Jimmy only a week ago, but feel like he was probably in your life forever. Excuse me. But I just wanted us to make sure to see that Jimmy has a lot of sides to him, so I was glad to get the video that they put
together. Don't mind just about that song, and what Uncle Rhino was talking about with Jimmy really being a diamond. No matter what genre of a song Jimmy was doing, if we were playing blues, if it was country, if it was rock, Jimmy has such a great tone to his voice. A really warm tone, and it comes across really well in his songs. And being a songwriter is really it can be a great thing. It can be really easy. It can be a massive headache that you just want to run far away from. But it's hard sometimes to write songs that you hear in your voice in your head, A, and B, that you're putting in keys and in melodies that fit your tone. And Jimmy, being a diamond, was fortunate that no matter what key, what melody he put his in, because of that great warm tone he had in his voice, they work.
Yes. So CJJ, Garrett and Tony, can you please tell them about what does the name CJJ mean to you? They're talking about it in here in our live interactions.
You go first.
I'm not sure what that is.
Oh,
really?
Oh.
Garrett, go for it.
CJJ to me,
wrestling.
It's loyalty, it's respect.
Yes.
It's effort, and it's sincerity. That was kind of the 4 pillars.
It's CJJ, the MMA, and that's
CJJ Combat Jiu-Jitsu, CJJ MMA. We had when I met Jimmy, he already had a dojo in a shopping, one of those shopping mall center things that multiple businesses are in. And we had 4 floors, we had 2 floors and a workout area, and then one part that was caged in so you could actually practice cage work as well. And 3 kick bags and a couple of kick posts, and we had sets of gear for people that didn't have any. And I was like, man, this is great. He must have, I don't know how, he must have some money stashed away or something. This place is really nice. And then one day he told me I started doing this at the park. People would come and meet me at the park and we would do this. I mean, he grew it from nothing. And that was really impressive to me that he, believed in himself enough to do that and put his neck out there.
It is his last name. So Garrett, it is his last name. It's Jiu-Jitsu mixed martial arts. That is what
Chaikong Jiu-Jitsu. Yes.
That's what it stands for.
Thank you, Charles, because
we've got a lot of the Ninja Cowboys over here giving us information, and they're very loyal.
And I'm glad that they do.
They will keep me on point. Trust me.
I mean, it's important that we're all here to show that, the most important thing is to Jimmy, and the most important thing for us should be his children.
Yes.
And one of the cool things we can do for his kids is keep him with us all by doing things like this. So I'm glad they're here. But yeah, he survived, as a businessman, running a dojo. He's a mentor to people, and that's not just your skill level on the mat. That's also your, physical abilities by working out. So he's your physical trainer, and it's also the mental side of it. He's teaching you life lessons as you go. He did all of that on his own and survived COVID, kept his business open through COVID. It was really impressive. But the CJJ to me means rebirth, because it really did change my life. It allowed me to, at 25, completely stop everything I was doing and start over. And I couldn't have done it without Jimmy. I owe him everything.
I love that story. I'm saying hello right now. I wanted to make, we've got reverb. Somebody's in here twice. I see that you're in here. Just my note is to a person that's paying attention right now. You let me know what you're comfortable with. And if you want, I will add you in. I'm glad you're there. I'm glad you're doing well. So I'm actually talking with his daughter, who's been in constant contact with me lately. And so she sent a lot of photos. You mentioned family, Garrett. I was going to transition really quick. Tony, I know you're walking around and it's a lot later where you're at right now. I wanted to get in a little bit to Jimmy. I've got a lot of songs here, everybody. Kirk's in on that music side, so we'll get to that. But Tony, you've been in contact with the family, so we'll back up. If you're not familiar with Jimmy, we lost him this weekend. An unfortunate series happened while he was out with his boys on the lake, Eagle Mountain Lake, and Jimmy did not make it. He is survived by his 2 sons that were rescued safely. He does have 4 children, 2 daughters, 2 boys that are beautiful. He's got nephews. He's got sisters, his mother. They are all asking us to speak and do music, but to give peace right now. They need a little time. Yeah. And Tony, you can speak more to what they are sending to you as well. And I do want to do that because, and everybody understand, if you're watching us live, Tony is very, not that we're not all close to Jimmy, but he and Jimmy were extremely close for a really long time. And he's been one of the first individuals that the family is talking to. So Tony, I'd like for you to share with us from the family to everyone out there with Jimmy. You're the point of contact. And I'd love to hear you speak a little bit on what you'd want them to say and what we're supposed to put out there.
Well, that's a big one. I know his nephew had been talking to me. I got some correspondence with him, and really they're just wanting, some privacy for the family, and let them kind of deal with it as they're going to deal with it. His mother is in her 80s, and especially with the children just being in that state, that's just a horrible thing to go through.
It really is. And so while you're in touch on that side, we do know that the boys are where they're supposed to be, there with his family. His mother is ailing, and the stress of this, just as a mom my age, listen, this is horrible. But we do know that the boys are with Jimmy's family, and the 2 girls are good. Uncle Rhino and myself have actually talked to, we've got one of the daughters, but I don't want to leave out each one of them, the 4 of them. I have them. They said mention their names and ages. Tony, do you want to do that?
I really can't.
Let's keep everything real. I do have one thing I want to say to Tony and to the family that's watching. Mm-hmm. When these kind of things happen, it's horrible, and as unforeseen as they are, we take a spiritual hit. We get, our reality gets shaken. our life changes, and it's going to be that way from now on. And we spend all of our time trying to recover and process the change. And you have ceremony, you have all the people that mean well who rush in wanting to know what they can do, but there's really nothing you can do in this situation. But once all that transpires and the people finally go back home, there's going to be the quiet. And that's when everyone is going to be in their thought. And it's in the aftermath that I want Tony to have my personal number, Tracy, when we're finished. I want any of the family that wants it, I'm at their disposal. Jimmy was our friend. Jimmy was tribe. That doesn't change just because we can't see each other anymore. That's an eternal thing. And anything that we can do for the children, his mother, his sister, tribe is just that. It doesn't have an expiration date.
Yeah, I'm moving us around here. It does not. I do want to do this though, Tony, because his family literally said at least do this part. And it is Malia. I won't say their ages. Is one of the daughters, Autumn, and Liam and Jace. They did want me to stay the children's names. They did give me ages. I'm not comfortable giving out ages, so I wasn't going to do that part. But for Malia, just remember that they're being bombarded right now, literally, messaged and everything, media, you name it. They got me on accident. So, Tony, I know that when you got reached, same thing on the opposite side kind of happened with me. And I know that when you've spoken to them, are we still looking for clothing? Are we looking for that still, Tony?
Guys, I apologize. I'm going to have to hop off. I'm not in a good area or a good spot.
Just get in touch with me later, Tony.
You take care of you, Tony, and we'll circle back, buddy.
We'll do. Appreciate y'all.
I got it. Thank you, Tony. Just get in touch. Yeah, Tony is very close with Jimmy, very close with the family right now. And as
I wanted to,
it's hard.
just like what you said about people stopping by. Man, I just live 2 blocks from them, and every hour I just think about stopping by, and I just don't think it's my place. And I just want to know it's not disrespect that I haven't come by. It's out of respect that I haven't come by.
Well, I'll 100%. Tell you this, that JB, I agree, but I can tell you they do not want that. So the person that you're talking about that's in your area, the mother's ailing at her age. I don't really want to get into too much, but to say that they're worried. And so they just are leaving that be. But somewhere around the Dallas-Fort Worth area is where they aren't in Abilene, actually. So the good news is
I was talking about the one here,
yeah. You're correct. So normally in Abilene.
The bottom line, because we don't need to get into geography, the bottom line is simple. It's real simple. In the event that if they need us, we are here when they need us. And we have to make sure that they have the way to contact us, and we will show up. And that's it. We show up. It's not, we have no other purpose than of how we can serve the family of our friend, who each one of us had our own relationship, our own individual love for this individual who brought light to every one of our lives. And for us to take care of a man who's no longer able to take care of his, for us to step forward and take that role on, that is not only our obligation, but it's our honor.
Yeah. And it's something that he was at the bottom line. He was a good man, and he would do it for you. And so exactly what you're saying, Uncle Rhino, I'm in the Metroplex, but I'd drive 1,000,000 miles for Sensei Jimmy. I mean, I just, and so you're right. I mean, it's to be a support network. And what you guys are doing here, the only reason I agreed to do this is because I think Jimmy would be tickled pink that we're sitting here.
He would love this. He was like, y'all were talking about me for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. But B, because he was important in my life, and he was important in a lot of people's lives, and getting to keep his spirit around is important for us to do. That's work that we can do. When you said earlier, right now there's not a lot you can do. Well, that's true. And this is one thing that, this is something that we can do and we should do.
We should. And I do have to say, so for Joey, I do know exactly what you're talking about, that a lot of folks can't, because they actually think that they know, but they don't. I know what you're talking about there. And I know about, so Frank Fisher and Joey Devora, I have actually put my personal phone number in the comments. I'm going to delete it soon, but I actually can tell you that as we're in touch as well, like you are, reach me at any time. You can do that. You can get to Uncle Rhino. You can find us on our platforms. You can go to Two Step Tribe, but I put my number in here personally based on your comment there. I 1000% agree with you. And Frank Fisher as well. Those are two members that have played with him and been around Jimmy for a really long time in music. So I agree with them. I'd like to do this, Uncle Ryan, I'll let you drive a little bit. Garrett, I'm glad you're still hanging in here with us. And Tony will get back to us later. He's, it's stressful. What we're talking about is not, it's stressful, honestly. And going through all the footage and the tape. So we want to share Jimmy's spirit, who he is as a person, not just he's a wonderful father, but I have more of his music, and that's what Joey's talking about. Joey and Frank Fisher doing music with him for so long. Kirk, are you familiar with Joey Devora or Frank Fisher?
I know of them, but I don't no. Like I was gonna comment like what Joey said.
Yeah.
Earlier, he said it and give Jimmy, I guess, the time of day. The past, like earlier, Jimmy and I did quite a few things together, and then later on, we both played in the same scene, but we did different things, and so we didn't play together, do much things together. But over the past, I'd say, year or so, especially through Tribe and through Uncle Rhino, you guys have been the kind of the rekindling of Jimmy and I's first. We didn't have we were never unfriends per se, but we just didn't really talk to each other much. But if one of us needed each other, anything you could call it, either one, I would have been there for him or he would have been there for me. But over this past, I say, year or so, it's been this kind of rekindling thing through you guys, through the Tribe, because it became a family thing. And then again, we were on the show together. And so Jimmy, like for me, like I said, we did different things, but we're part of the same team, and we kind of were on different ends of the things. But Jimmy is the one that encouraged me to, hey man, don't try to be or just be you. Even as he was trying to figure out how to navigate things himself while he was strategically being himself. But he was the one that told me, he's like, man, just be you. And so, Joey, I get what you're saying in that. However, what I want to say and what I wanted to point to is, in the midst of any and all of that, Jimmy was still Jimmy. And in the midst of Jimmy doing all the things that Jimmy did, Jimmy was the one that's still encouraging me. While I was the one getting to play a lot in Abilene and he wasn't playing as much, he was doing things even bigger than what I was doing. Everything is just that it looked like I was bigger in Abilene, but Jimmy was doing things much more significant than I. But he was the one that was encouraging me, telling me to be me and not try to follow after what I feel like it's supposed to do or what everybody else is telling me to do. But I wanted to speak to who Jimmy was and the kind of person who he was, and how he was so intentional about speaking life into people. He was intentional about wanting to know you, not what you put in front or what you put out because you felt like that's what you're supposed to put out. He was intentional about wanting to know you. He would stop you. It was like, no. Like he would, and so like he would call it out, and it sometimes almost make you feel awkward. He's like, what is he doing? But like he was just real, and I think we're so used to people not being real. When you come around somebody like Jimmy that is real, like it almost seems like, well, you almost don't know what to do with it.
And in a land of pyrite, gold is out of place.
Yeah.
Well,
I see your message there, Joey. Go ahead and take my number. I agree with you. Jimmy did play like in Fort Worth in the Stockyard areas. And yes, it is a disappointment he didn't get to play as much in Abilene, but we have his music. JV does a show. We will make sure that his music's out, and we were doing it before. I can tell you that. We've actually got shows where we've had Jimmy very, very close to something we were working on too. So I just want to make you feel better by telling you that, Joey.
Yeah, man.
Get a hold of us, Joey, and I would love to hear from you and more. So this isn't a one-time thing.
Just quickly, Joey's right, but at the same time, that you know, I mean, that's the plight of the music. You know, I mean, it's you know, when Jimmy and I first started playing gigs together, and I think I played with him probably before Kirk did, and then kind of like Kirk saying that we didn't have a falling out. I moved and began school, and we talked, you know, a couple times a month, and sometimes for many, many hours long into the night, like we're saying. And then we'd see each other and we'd play some gigs here and there. But, you know, we were closer, you know, in that from about 2020 to 2023 or so. And we would play in Abilene and there might be 5 people, but the next night there'd be 50. And then we'd go and we played in Lubbock. We played up here. We played in Weatherford. I mean, you know, that's the life of the musician a little bit. And he was upset about that. But at the same time,
I think he was working on a lot.
Relish the challenge.
There's something unique inherently, though, guys, about what you do, especially in a traveling band, the old school, you know, traveling, beating the pavement. As you guys, I mean, there's no fluff. You know, the old saying, it's hard to get the blues in an air-conditioned room. You don't have these kind of cushy things. It's all about guts and love and sweat, and you're putting the work in, and the people they validate themselves next to you, to the left or to the right, because they're putting in the same grind, or they wouldn't still be on the path with you. They would have already fallen away. And so you inherently learn a certain level of respect by those who can stay step for step with you. And with Jimmy, I didn't even have to meet Garrett. I didn't even have to know like everything that I later learned with Kirk and Jimmy. If you have this kind of kindred relationship of a warrior poet, which is what you have to be and what we do, you have to be born with a broken heart. And those people find the missing pieces by making a family by choice around them. While they also love and adore the family that they have, they also have that support system that moves and understands their way of life as well. And that's why you can go a year or two between talking, and each time you call and they answer, it's like the day after the last day that you talked. No time went by. That's very constant. I've got friends of mine still for 30 years plus in Nashville and New York and Atlanta and LA. And it's the same way. When I pick up the phone, we might have not spoken in a year and a half, and the third ring, it'll be, "What's up, Bubba?" You know, don't miss a beat. And it's beautiful that y'all had that.
But Jimmy's the one, you know, I had, you know, I grew up in a music scene and now I work in academia. And the one thing about both of those things that are so similar is, a lot of the time, unfortunately, it's how much you're worth to somebody else that your relationship costs. You know, that's what our relationship amounts to. And it's unfortunate that it's that way. But Jimmy is the one person that after all of this time, he's the one person in Abilene that still monthly would say, "I haven't talked to you in a few weeks. I just wanted to see if you were all right." And it meant a lot to me because I don't have family that does that. I mean, he's the one person in my life, the one time that's ever had that happen. And and that's why I'm here, honestly, is because of that. I mean, he showed me love that I never had.
It was not transactional. It was not transactional.
It is very, very true. JB Cloud is joining us, and he's going to be stepping out. So I want us to say thank you to JB Cloud for joining us tonight, for Jimmy, and that we'll be in touch with you on our regular show. So thank you, JB.
We're going to feature Jimmy on our next show, not this weekend, but next weekend. A couple of his songs, couple of maybe some of the audio messages he sent, and of course his signature Ninja Cowboys.
Hey, JB. You had said earlier when you started talking at the top of the episode that you and Jimmy were friends, but you never really thought of you guys as best friends. I will tell you that Jimmy did. I mean, Jimmy thought of every friend as his best friend. He didn't have anything that differentiated. And I will tell you for a fact, JB Cloud, that Jimmy and I spoke on you a bunch. And I hadn't told you this in private, so I'm telling you first time in public right here. But Jimmy absolutely adored you. And he was totally stoked about getting to come and hang out with you when y'all came down and we did the thing in New Braunfels because he was hanging with his boy JB.
Well, I opened his eyes on a lot of things he didn't know about, and with the music business, and whether Nashville stuff or the Texas Red Dirt stuff, and and I say that we aren't friends. I mean, it's you're going to have one or two haters that are going to go, wow, I don't know who he is. I've known Jimmy my whole life, and that's just the way I am. I mean, I love Jimmy like a brother. And he and I would do anything for each other, and we did. And the short time that we got closer, I really enjoyed working with him, and found out that somebody told me that I was mentoring him, and I was like, wow, I didn't think about it that way. I was just trying to help him, and so I gave it some more gas, and man, he took notes. He gave himself voice messages. He's like, man, I got to write this down. I got to write this down. This is good stuff. Song ideas, and I'm sure Tracy heard all about that on the drive.
Literally, as y'all were in the car.
Yeah, there was some good stuff and some PG-13 stuff, but it was all great stuff, and I really enjoyed his man. He thought 10 years ahead, 20 years ahead, and he had a plan, and he's got a boat in Fort Worth and wanted to get a boat down in Galveston, and then or Corpus, and then go up the coast and play music, and then go down to the Central America and the Bahamas and play music. And, he had several steps that he wanted to do. And I told him about getting a boat in San Diego for cheap. And he really liked that idea. And, so it was neat to see the wheels turning in him, especially when you got some new information.
It is. Thank you for joining us, JB. And I'm making sure that everyone knows his book. All of his information is at jimmyninjaofficial.com. Again, that's jimmyninjaofficial.com. He has a book that you can purchase. He has all of his information listed on that site. That is the best place to go. And I have the links to everything, his MMA videos, his book. It's all in this bio here at Two Step Tribe. So, JB, I also have his Google Drive of some songs that you won't have access to that I would like to get to you. So, we'll connect on some back channels with Uncle Rhino. But thank you for joining us.
Yes, man. Thanks for having me. And Jimmy's family, nothing but love for you guys.
Exactly.
This is crazy. That guy meant a lot to us. And this is tough for everybody. Thank you for having me.
It's our job to hold him up and keep him held.
Yes, and I'm going to get some music going here, JB. So I'll be in touch with you on back channels on what I do have. Again, the Jimmy Ninja Cowboy song, that new version that's sped up, he just did that actually in a studio, and it's supposed to be released October 3rd. I do have it. We can all discuss later with Garrett and Tony. They've been very vocal, and JB and Uncle Rhino myself. But thank you, JB, for tuning in and taking your time. But I'll connect with you because I have a lot of, just like y'all were saying, the voice messages I got emailed, I got blasted through my phone. I got every platform you can imagine in collaboration of everything. So the good news is with him being scheduled, we were also friends. And so we were able to bounce things to each other that were life, very, very hard things that happen in life. He had lost his wife with cancer not long ago. I beat the hell out of cancer. We just had a lot that we talked about. And so I want everybody and his family to know that it's a friendship. It's nothing to do with just an artist, and that anybody that's in here right now and those I'm trying to reach are literally the people that Jimmy, if he wasn't leaning on us 10 years ago, I'm telling you, we were right next to him here to the last second. So, JB, I appreciate you for taking the time, and we'll talk on back channels.
Yes, ma'am.
Tribe is, people ask all the time, and Jimmy was probably suspicious in the beginning when he kept hearing it, but he had to see it on the inside. And Jimmy came in. Yeah, and he told me very much so he was suspicious because it all sounded too good to be true. And
we talked about that, yeah.
Yeah. And I had no problem. I said, look under the hood, do what you got to do, man. And basically, it's not transactional. It's 100% collaborative. And Tribe is about humanity first. People say all the time, what do you got to do to be in Tribe? Well, you got to have a certain skill level, to come in at whatever it is you do. It doesn't have to just be music. It doesn't have to just be that kind of creative. But the thing is your humanity has to eclipse your talent. And if you come in with that, not just a talented person with a little bit of humanity, because you can keep stepping. We don't need those. The business is already invested with them. We need people who have a blinding humanity. And that's where Jimmy finally saw this is like for real. And when he saw that, that's where we really kind of locked in. I just let him sniff around till he got tired, and I just kept doing what we do when the cameras are on or when they're not. And it clicked, and then we were off to the races.
Well, and that's the most beautiful part about Jimmy is he's nothing but humanity. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't always, he never was there to blow smoke up your ass about anything.
No.
Sometimes he was a little too stiff with you about what he was trying to tell you. But it was so genuine that it never, you never were upset, mad at him or upset with him about any of those things. He was so genuine about it all.
You know where it came from, yeah.
That man never one time in his life existed. He lived the whole of it.
Come on.
And you're right. I mean, he is humanity personified in a lot of ways.
Kirk, did he finally come around? When did he have the epiphany with you?
I remember us talking about it. He's like, I don't know, man. Yeah. I remember he said, I don't know. I mean, he just kept saying, I don't know. And I remember I forgot our exact conversation. What we talked about, I was like, no, man. I was like, when we were talking, because I was telling about me talking to you in the middle of the line, I was like, it just clicks. I was like, when you know when you're talking to somebody, you can tell. I was like, I didn't get the BS. The sensor didn't go off. There was real, but because it was so real, you're like, nah, there's no way. It's almost too good to be true. Like there's just like, no one is on board with just being with people to be with people. It's like, there's just no way. And I just remember us having that conversation. I was like, I don't know. And he's like, we'll see. He's like, there's got to be something else. And he was trying to figure out if there was another angle. And cause I mean, I thought about the same thing, but I was like, I don't feel it or see it. I was like, I'm making it up if I do. And then when he was in, he was in.
Wait.
Yeah. When he was in, he was in.
Yeah.
And so that's why I said, like this past year or so, however long is, I don't know, time kind of runs together. However long, there's like just been this rekindling and like it just making reality, true reality and love, like true love. And like, so like, although there was this time where we didn't see each other or anything, like it makes the time that you didn't do all that, it brings it all together. So everything is condensed because when you come back around, you're with each other because everything is so real. That gap is not there. It's just, today is just like yesterday. Yesterday is just like today. Like that gap leaves. And that's, like I said, that's Jimmy. That's the kind of power that he possessed and who he was and how he carried himself and how he was so intentional with being real and loving on people, everybody that he met. And like I said, to the point where you would almost like, this is too weird. It's like something like, it's Jimmy.
Well, I love that because he had wisdom. He had wisdom. So his wisdom and discernment, that's one of the things that made him perfect. And I knew that he had it because he came to me and fessed up. He said, well, I had a little trouble. And I'm like, no judgment. You do, you got, I want everybody comfortable. But it was like once he started participating and he realized he was walking in as a leader to bring all of his knowledge and all his joy, it was all welcome. No watering down. Bring all of your spirit and share it with everybody. Y'all are tribe. I've told you that forever. You guys are tribe. And he got it and it clicked. And when we were in New Braunfels, he was just like, tribe. He was just like, with that lightning bolt that's Jimmy.
So that ready to go.
Yeah, he was all in, and I have those voice messages going, "Hey, Bubba Samurai, I got these ideas. We got to talk about these ideas for that. We're going to do this writing thing in Abilene. We got to do all this." And I'm like, "Oh, Tracy created a monster." Yeah.
I want to real quickly. I want to talk about what.
Yeah, Garrett. I was going to say. I know that you have to leave soon.
Yeah.
Sarah is in here, and so is Ryan. I want you all to know the same thing I said earlier. You can get, if you don't have Garrett's number or Tony's, I literally put mine in there public.
Please.
I am talking to the family too. I want y'all to be comfortable in knowing that. And this is everything that Jimmy wanted. And yes, we will talk more in regards to what Jimmy wants. Garrett, you can relay some of that, but I'd love to get to his music. I've got a lot.
I was gonna ask that if you'll give me, and I wanted to beg you for a song, but first, because I do have to go here shortly, I wanted to talk about what Charles said real fast because it is important to who Jimmy was. Charles was saying that they talked a lot about their experiences growing up in Abilene, and Jimmy would tell me about that every great once in a while, and that's not an experience that I can relate to really. I was on the opposite side of the fence in a lot of ways. I got given a lot of, better opportunity because I didn't, have the same life experiences that Charles was speaking to. But Jimmy would put you in those situations. Jimmy had a friend, a dear friend of his named Somshe Boom Lao, who was one of the, I love you, bud. He was one of the coolest guys I've ever met in my life. And he was, I'm not sure what part of South Asia he was from exactly. But Jimmy would say, well, you Garrett, you're going to go roll with him today. Now he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu and was quite good at judo. And he didn't enjoy sparring lightly. And he humbled me in a lot of ways, but aggressively confronted me with a need for humility and a need to understand a different way of life than the one I had. And Jimmy's the one that provided that. But he would talk about what Charles is saying, and it's just worth mentioning that Jimmy did feel, that he didn't get a lot of opportunities like that, and sometimes he felt like, he was treated differently. And I'm sure as a kid, it was even, more different than it was as an adult. But he never did that to anyone else. He was so welcoming all the time. And it was just worth mentioning. And so Charles, thank you for saying that. And Tracy, I was going to beg you to play Pearl.
I actually will. But Garrett, could you speak up as to what we've been advised for the family, please?
Well, I know that we had, I don't know where the planning has been in the last 24 hours or so, because I've been away from this and been back to my work for a little while. But I know we were planning on doing something a little bit later so that we can, maybe do a type of benefit type thing for the kids. I know that we're not doing a funeral, that was something that his mother didn't want to do, and that's perfectly understandable. And I tend to agree. And so I know we were going to do that. And I know he had he was playing a benefit for that you were involved in, Tracy, on the 27th.
September 27th. Yeah.
I know there had been some misinformation that was for Jimmy. It's not. He was doing that for somebody else because that's who Jimmy is.
That is true. Jimmy will still stay in our lineup, and we are going to figure out what we will do as a tribute. It says it right here: in loving memory of Jimmy, my son, Sergeant Two Step, who was killed while serving active duty. There's other families that are coming. It is a day where we honor those that are lost. So I know exactly how the family's feeling. So Sarah, I saw your note. Trust me, I know, but Jimmy right here was coming to play for all on himself. And when I say all on himself, I mean expenses and all. The foundation, Sergeant Two-Step Foundation, for other families who had lost their family member on September 27th. That will go help all these families who have lost their family member. And that is known as Gold Star Family Day. And I know there was some misinformation there. And then Tony is in our comments bringing up information because he has a lot of it. But we will do something that day, of course, to honor him. And we're not taking him off, number one. Tony, you're correct. I would say this, Garrett and Tony. I'd say get with Uncle Rhino. I know that people are asking me about the songwriting thing. I haven't had a chance to talk to Uncle Rhino, but Garrett and Tony, I can connect you with Uncle Rhino on back channels about their feelings.
The tribe has already started talking today. Yesterday, I spoke with the owner of the stairs myself. She'd reached out to me on behalf of Jimmy and the event. She and I made contact. Our director of events, Missy, has stepped forward and started contact with Sergeant Two-Step Foundation. Missy is one of the directors with us, and she stepped forward and started a dialogue. We're talking about multiple ways of doing it because we would like to set it up in such a way that it is an annual event, and it's an annual event when we can do it right. You don't have a second shot at a first impression. And if we're going to truly do a legacy, we want to do it the way that Jimmy would have done it. We want to make it epic and roll in. We don't want to throw something together at the last minute. We want to roll in and have the maximum benefit for the maximum number of people, and as well as the folks there at the stairs and Abilene, because Jimmy loved that city. He loved that part of Texas. So there's so many things. So to Tracy's point, we absolutely, Tracy will give you my personal contact, and we can bring y'all in with what we've got, what we're thinking about, what we're doing. And to Tracy's point and yours, me personally, we can all discuss this, but I would love for this to be an annual event for his family. And when or if his family decides, they can consider at some point continuing it and then doing it for other families, because that's the way tribe works. Everything that we do, every time we go down, when we stand up, we're bringing 2 or 3 people with us.
Amen.
And at the Sergeant Two-Step Festival, they had the information confused. We're letting everyone know we're still honoring. Jimmy was doing that. We've got the information. Just keep getting into twosteptribe.com, the number 2, twosteptribe.com, and what we're doing. I am not aware of anything other than that event right now because I've been working on everything for Jimmy on that side and connecting to the family. But I know that they have been talking. And when I say they, I mean tribe and members that have been around me nonstop. I took a detour because I needed to.
So for everyone's understanding, Tracy, so Garrett, Kirk, we are setting up for a huge year in 2026 with all things Sergeant Two-Step and all things Patriot Fest in Texas primarily, but also in Louisiana, massive festivals. These were things Jimmy was set to be an integral part of throughout much of Texas. So he was very excited about all this. So these were all things that we were doing as the tribe, which is where it's 100+ people all over the United States. So basically this was shaping up to be a beautiful thing. Tracy's part of it. Tracy's redirected. And since Sunday, everything's been about you guys, everyone who loved Jimmy. That's where we're at. That's our whole orbit right now.
Thank you guys for doing that.
Let's get Pearl, like they're asking me. Tony Cox and Garrett Dylan, I thank you so much. Kirk, stand by. Tony Cox, I see you over there, and so he's communicating with us rather than being in the show. Garrett Dylan. Tony has brought up to me that they're considering playing for Jimmy in his spot. We're not saying it's 100%. This is something that Tony and I briefly brushed over that they brought to me. And I need to connect back to my individuals. I have been working solely with Jimmy and family and building what Jimmy wanted tonight in the show. But Garrett and Tony, I have not had a chance to have a full phone call yet with Uncle Rhino. But yeah, he's saying definitely. So Tony is the one that spoke about this. He plays in the band, and so did Garrett. And they talked about doing the song. Which one was it? Is it Pearl or Lakeland? It's Lakeland that Tony, I think, mentioned.
Yeah, I would do anything. I was gonna say the reason I picked Pearl, I was with Jimmy daily as he was writing it, and I was writing a couple of songs at the time. Now I've stepped away from playing music, but would happily do it for Jimmy and the way Jimmy would. I mean, I'd drive anywhere.
It was Tony's suggestion because he was just with him literally at an interview and with his guitar, and he was just literally doing something with Jimmy. So it's Tony, and we'll update you all. We are on live a lot, so you can get us at Two Step Tribe, and Tony will get back to me on that. Uncle Rhino will talk on back channels, and Garrett, of course.
Full disclosure, I loved everything that Jimmy did, but from the very beginning, I wore his little narrow butt out on Pearl being my favorite, and he knew it. He knew it, and in the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks, he came around and he thought, General, I think Pearl's the one. And I'm like,
telling you. I quickly before I have to go, I just two things. One about Pearl, it came to him so incredibly easy, and I kept telling him what I've always been told by songwriters I was around, like Amos Staggs, Freddie Powers, Willie, people like that. I was always told that the best ones are you didn't write them; they were already there, and they almost just kind of got pulled out of nowhere by you. You just kind of grabbed them out of the ether almost. And they would always say that. And I always thought, well, I mean, sure, probably, but I watched Jimmy do that one so fast, and now he tweaked it and stuff, but it came to him so easily, and he did it so well. And like we talked about the tone in his voice earlier, it just fits his voice. The sound is so him to me. I play that a lot when I'm sitting around just playing guitar around the house. I play it a lot to myself just because I like it. I mean, it's a great song. And finally, before I go, I thank you guys for letting me come on and talk your ear off about Jimmy.
Of course.
Like you said, no one's really Jimmy's best friend because he treats everybody the same way. And he makes you feel special without needing to be a best friend or something like that. You just feel good around him. And I'll listen to him anytime he wanted to talk, and I'm a better human being because I got to spend 5 minutes with him, and I'll be a better soul in the end because I got to spend years with him, and it's been the pleasure of my life to get to know him. It really was. He was the strangest, most good man I've ever met. And he used to tell me all the time, I'm getting on the spaceship. When it's going to come and get me. The UFO's coming. And I'd say, well, honk at me when he was by then. So I've been listening, hoping that I get to hear one here shortly. He's going to be out there on Mars waiting on me.
That's the thing that's why I was so adamant about everyone having the back channel contact, because when everything quiets down, the way one of the comforts, and Tracy's lost so much, and I left a multi-million-dollar career in band and everything and walked because of the family losses that we had in my family in a short period of time. I just didn't have a why anymore, and I learned firsthand what happens is you when you lose someone, sometimes the only way to still hold them is to spend time with people that have a chunk of memories that still involve them. Yes. And so I try to keep those people close by, and that is a source of joy and comfort, anything that still has their echo. And so that's for his mother, for his sister, his beautiful sister and mama, and all four of his beautiful kids. We're all of them our tribe, and we're here, and when if they want to, we are available. The door is open,
Absolutely.
So and for you guys, for you and Tony as well.
Thank you so much. I do want to say this. We have we have people waiting back, but this is about Jimmy. I see all of your messages. Martha, my heart is right there with you. Sarah, I see you all. I see you, Frank Fisher and Tony, and I see the comments. And I will tell you right now, you're both right. So, Frank, I put my number again. Get in touch with me. Tony is exactly right. He's a great friend, and he is a good friend to him, and he would play with him several times as a friend and a mentor and collaborator. Yes, Frank Fisher is part of the Ninja Cowboys, and I do want to connect with you. You're both talking about playing at the festival. I say, come on. So this is about including everybody who wants to stand there for Jimmy. And I want Frank Fisher. I want Tony Cox. My Southern just hit really big time. Tony Cox. I want Garrett Dylan. I want you all there. So we do the song, whatever it is going forward. Frank, please reach out to me. Tony, you know how to get me. Garrett, you know how to get me. But Frank, I agree with everything that's being said in here. I know it's high emotions right now. And I just want everybody to remember, Jimmy was friends with a lot of people. I can promise you that I have been super close. I won't even get into details because I'm not going to go there. I appreciate you, Frank. I appreciate you, Tony. I appreciate you, Garrett. I appreciate you, Kirk House. I appreciate you, Uncle Rhino. And I appreciate everyone from his mother to his sister to his brother to his kids, especially. Let's remember this. And I see you there. So just reach out to me. That's all you've got to do. And in the future, we'd love to have you on. We will definitely get you a link. I say I go to Pearl right now, Garrett, and I grab that song. And just like you mentioned it, let's play his music real quick. Kirk, stand by. It's getting dark where you're at because we've got Katie, Tony, Katie, Beth, and Rusty. And I'm going to pull them up too with Kirk and get to the music a little bit rather than into the comments. I'm making sure I stay connected to every one of you. I see you there. Martha, Frank, Tony, Sarah, every one of you reach me. And right now, what we're going to do is go ahead and grab his music, and that is Pearl. So anybody that was around Jimmy, Pearl, yes, was going to be a title on the album. You're right, bud. I'm going to grab this song. I'm going to pull up Katie Beth. We still got Kirk House. Garrett, you let me know when you need to leave. You click leave studio. I'm so grateful for you to come in like this, and I'll connect with you again. I'm right here. You can all reach me, not just tonight. Please reach out. This is Pearl by Jimmy Ninja. And Garrett, we appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys. And saying what you're saying to the family. We all are we all have a different connection to them. I spent time with the boys mainly, but I'm there for anybody that wants to talk about him. I mean, he meant a great deal to us all, and we're always happy to do anything we can for him. I'd drive cross country. I'd walk across broken glass, fight mountain lions in a McDonald's bathroom. If I've got whatever I've got to do for Jimmy, I would do it. Thank you guys
so I have to interrupt everybody. The boys are listening right now, and they do want me to do what I was going to do. So Katie Beth is on here now. I am going to do it for you. I was asked this, and it's in our comments. Listen, the boys are listening right now. They want us to do the shout out like I had in my phone. So if I will do that, and I will make sure that we each do, and I have a little clip. So the family's paying attention right now, and it's all about them. Honestly, it's the two girls and the two boys. It's the sister. It's the mother. They're all tuning in right now. And I want them to know that I see everything in there. And right now, what I want to say to you beautiful children, it's Malia and Autumn, and then Liam and Jace. I love you, and you are beautiful, beautiful babies. You are so special. Your whole family is. This is not just about your daddy right now. This is about you two. And you two boys are amazing. And I will play that clip that they want me to play. Their family. Martha, I see everything you're saying, and I'm making sure they do.
The whole family is tribe. The whole family is tribe.
Yep.
The whole family.
Liam, Jace, Autumn, and Malia. And Liam, right now with Jace is paying attention, and there is a small clip that they would like. Stand by really quick because we do have them in and they're going out, and it's going to go in and out, but I am going to do it for the boys. Here it is.
Uh-oh. Wow. On the moon. That's where the alligators are. Most of them. Careful, son. Where's your life jacket? Your life jacket on.
So what they wanted us to do was shout out to the boys, show that they loved that pirate boat.
We love you,
And
boys.
that we are right here. I love you, boys and girls. There's 2 daughters, everybody.
There is.
All those kids, the mother, the sister, they're all stepping up to take care of the family. And we are your extended family. We may not be your family by blood, but we are your extended family. Thank you, Garrett and Martha. I see you. I know you're going. Thank you for tuning in. You can reach me. My number's there, public. I'm going to grab his song. Katie Beth's been sitting there. Kirk House. It's getting dark where you are.
Yeah. I'll have to tune out here. I have to tune out here after what they're still waiting on me back inside.
Yeah. I'm going to grab his song, Kirk. And Katie Beth is over here.
Please do.
His boys are over there, so I got to play it. Uncle Rhino, if you say something different, speak up.
Let's go.
They want Pearl.
Pearl.
Here it is.
Let's go.
Sitting on top of the world, knowing there's someone who wants to know me. Very special girl, shows me I could be her whole world. It sounds like a symphony, nothing you've ever heard before. Brings to the centuries. Through all eternity. 'Cause love never goes out of style. Sometimes it takes a while, but I'm right here. Love never goes out of style. Sometimes it takes a while, but I'm right. Oh, I'm right. On top of the world, releasing my need to control everything, knowing I am a pearl. You can't love yourself, you never love that special girl. Sounds like a symphony, nothing you've ever heard before. Brings to the centuries. You are 'cause love never goes out of style. Sometimes it takes a while, but I'm right here. All love never goes out of style. Sometimes
That is Jimmy Ninja. Please go to jimmyninjaofficial.com. Again, jimmyninjaofficial.com. And that's just like it sounds, JIMMYNINJA official.com. His book, his music, you can find everything there. Thank you so much, Martha. All that y'all are doing to take care of the family and the kids. Joey, Martha, Sarah, every one of you in here. Tony, Frank. I'm trying my best to get to all of you, and I'm going to move through the show here. It's not just a show, it's family. So this isn't the only night that we will have anything for Jimmy. This will be continued on. I want to make sure everybody understands that and say, we love you, boys. And we're going to continue through the show right now because we have more music. One day, maybe, or Uncle Rhino can. I wasn't going to say how. And Kirk, I think you might have been part of this. There was something that happened once, and he needed some wind. Kirk, you might have been on this show with Uncle Rhino, actually. And it's the reason that I was contacted on Sunday. Without going into too much information, Jimmy, Uncle Rhino, why don't you go through that part? I don't really want to do it myself.
You can't touch on things without laying it down. It's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
And it's a reminder that there are things that are bigger than ourselves.
So,
and it was right before Kirk, wasn't it? Right? Weren't you and Jimmy on that same episode, Kirk?
Yeah, we're on it. Yeah, we were on the same episode. And then I remember Tracy and I, we talked on 2, 3, I don't know how long it was that night in the morning.
Yeah, we're writing songs.
Yeah. And that song you sent to man.
Oh,
he had an issue with his boat, and he had with the motor. I mean, it wasn't running, and there was no wind, so the sailboat was no good. And he was trying to work the rope and do all these things to try to get him moved a little bit. He's according to Jimmy, he'd been doing it so long all day, both hands were swollen. He couldn't even close his hands. There was no wind. And Tracy had sent him a new song that she'd written that was called Whisper to Jesus. And it's on that episode. We discussed this whole thing on that back episode. And Jimmy, it was nighttime. It was late at night. He'd been going all day in the sun and gone into the evening. The 2 boys were tired, everything. And he ended up finding that Tracy had sent him, and he started playing it. This is according to Jimmy. He said there was a little breeze started trickling in, just a little one. And he said, and the sails started filling up, and the boat started moving. And he was just blown away, and he was all full of gratitude and everything. And the song ran out, and he said, the breeze stopped. He said, so he's at this point, he's going to try anything. So he played it again, and the breeze started blowing again, and the sails started filling up, and the boat started moving. And after 2 times back to back, he said, I had that song on repeat, and it brought him home. And the boys were looking at him like the hero that saved the day. And they were so exhausted and so tired. But instead of going straight to bed, he was so exhausted, but he was celebratory and so grateful. And he took the boys to breakfast. And then he had to call and tell Tracy. And then later he told me about it. And then it happened to be that night before, pretty late that day on Saturday, I guess, he called Tracy or sent her a message. Yeah, he was wanting that song again, and we didn't know anything about it. But
I have the message, and it literally, he got a hold of me a few times on this past Sunday, literally. Martha, my number is with certain people that are connected to you, but it's in the comments. Definitely get in touch with me. I've got a lot of the stuff that you're talking about. So Martha, I'm here for you. And we do not want to bombard anybody. I'm a mom who's lost my brother, my son, you name it. Anybody connected to me. I'm not saying, look at me. I'm saying I understand. And
for the family's understanding, Tracy's had a huge losses in a short period of time that would break most people. And I actually walked away from a very lucrative career after losing twins, a mother, a brother, my wife's youngest sister, 28 people all in a 14-year period of time So we sadly, we know loss. And just because of that, it's just a part of the human condition. We can't pull it off of you, but we can sit down next to you and know just how bad it hurts. And you can look over and know they know. And so that's all we can do sometimes is sit next to each other, and we sit as long as you need us to.
We do. Uncle Rhino, she's asking about the song now, but on every show, I look at you and say yes or no. I'm not doing anything unless he says to do it.
Play Whisper for Jesus. Whisper to Jesus.
Yeah.
It's only for Jimmy that I'm going to do this right now. Kirk, you know the story, but yes, I did hear from him on Sunday multiple times. This past weekend, I heard from him multiple times. This is what he was asking for. It's not out, so contact Uncle Rhino or something. Go to twosteptribe.com. I'll play this for you, and then I want to get back to Jimmy. So here it is. This is the song.
Hey guys, I gotta step back inside.
And
We
Kirk,
love you, buddy.
And we'll bring
Love
you
y'all
back
too.
on too, Kirk, to tell the whole story. Thank you
Yes,
so much,
please.
Kirk. Yep, the harder I try, I've got it in here. Trust me, I got your song. Here is
Love y'all.
Whisper. Good night, Kirk. Thank you. Katie Beth Standby is with us. Katie and Rusty, they are very close too. They've worked with Mr. Jimmy Ninja Cowboy up right there. I'm going to grab this song, Katie Beth. I was asked for this literally this weekend again. And the last that we probably connected was for something in the afternoon, but there were multiple times all weekend. And yes, the boat was having problems again. This is that song.
Jesus, do you hear me as I whisper and look up to the sky? The clouds drift slowly, but they don't reply. I'm searching for a flicker, a spark in the gray, something to convince me they found their way. Please, Jesus, can you send me a sign? Not from above to say we're fine. My heart feels heavy like a storm rolling in. Please, Jesus, tell me where to begin with whispers to you. Jesus, send me a sign. Jesus, please. There's a silence that feels longer today. Shadows dance where the sun used to play. I'm holding on tight, but the rope's wearing thin. Hoping for a whisper, cutting through the din. Is everything as it should be? I don't know. The world spins fast, but my own feels slow. I'm trying to catch the rhythm of your tune, but I'm lost between the sun and the moon. Please, Jesus, can you send me the sign? Not from above to say we're fine. My heart feels heavy like a storm rolling in. Please, Jesus, tell me where to begin with whispers to you. Jesus, send me a sign. Jesus, please. Maybe your answers are written in the rain, in the quiet moments that ease my pain. And when the world seems to crumble apart, let me feel the warmth of your steady heart. Thank you, Jesus, for the whisper. Maybe your answers are written in the rain, in the quiet moments that ease my pain. And when the world seems to crumble apart, let me feel the warmth of your steady heart. Thank you, Jesus, for the whispers.
How are you tonight, Katie?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, it's been a week, has it not?
Oh yeah, I feel that. I think this has been one of the toughest weeks I've had in a long time, and I know it's not been easy for everybody.
Tell me about when you and Jimmy first met. Can you remember?
Yeah, we were at the songwriter, the Texas State Songwriter Championship, and we got there the day before the show, and we went that evening to Horace Hall. And I remember we were in there, and that's whenever I very first met him. Walked up to me, and he had a green mustache, and I thought he was cool immediately.
Yep.
I said, I've got to be friends with this man.
Yeah.
Y'all must have been in the same spot because Uncle Rhino earlier mentioned a green mustache, and I know the story. I just wasn't there, so I thought that was funny that you both pointed out that he had a green mustache.
Yes,
I ain't never seen that in my life. Yeah, but he just marched right up. And matter of fact,
And it wasn't St. Patrick's Day or anything, so it wasn't anything
No.
to do with that.
no.
It was Jimmy.
Immediately, his personality was loud, you know, and we were doing kind of just I don't know, we were just all kind of messing around, singing and visiting and stuff and doing some things, and I think they were doing like a preliminary thing for the next day, and so we were around, and we heard some different people play, and whenever everything was said and done, somebody had asked us, me and my husband Rusty, to get up there and to sing and play our music. And so pretty much everybody had cleared out of the venue except for a few people, and we got on stage, and so I sang a song that I had wrote for my dad called White Horse. And I lost my dad a few years ago. And so I sang that song. And I also sang another song called Here I Go. And it was brand new and no one had heard it yet. And I remember he stopped what he was doing and walked across the room, and he sat down on purpose in front of me. And he sat there with his hands, you know, with his head set in his hands, and he was just watching me sing. And he just had the best look on his face. And he got so emotional while I was singing. And I just thought, wow, this guy, like, I don't even know this guy, but I already liked him, you know, and he sat there and was really listening to what I was saying and singing. And after I got off the stage, he was kind of teary-eyed and emotional, and he told me, he goes, I just want to thank you for those songs. And he goes, they made me think of my wife. And he goes, I lost her, you know, recently at that time. And he said, those songs are beautiful. And he's like, they absolutely touched my soul. And he's like, I will never forget that you sang those things and stuff. And so after that, he got to talking to my husband, and they both, you know, do martial arts. They both do jujitsu and things like that. And they just instantly became friends, and I became friends with him immediately because I thought he was super cool, you know, and our personalities, you know, were all just similar. And I thought, man, this man's wild. I like him, you know. So we just all became friends after that, and he's always stayed in touch with us, and he's always been a big supporter of us and sharing our things, and we've always shared his stuff online. And I really just here recently, and I wished I would have done this sooner, but just the past few weeks, I started watching his little vlogs that he was doing, and I was watching him make his fish dip that he was making, and I thought about making it one day, but I didn't know if I was brave enough for that one yet. So, but I just really enjoyed. I was reading that. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I just was really enjoying the positive things he was saying and the messages he was giving to people, because I had a couple rough days, you know, and it just so happened that I got on there and he was sitting there and giving people advice and a good message on there, and I caught it the day I needed it, you know, and I just appreciated him so much. So I messaged him just a few days before this all happened, and I told him, I said, man, I really appreciate you doing these, and you know, oh, you bet. Thanks, bud. I see you on there.
Bud thinks that Whisper to Jesus is your song. and you can have that credit. We love Bud here at Two Step Tribe.
And
I'm going to let Katie Beth keep talking.
I met Bud that night too. He was following us around with a camera and everything, and I thought, man, this guy's cool too. He's a little eccentric, and I like him. You know.
Well, the pictures that I'm showing in here are some of them are from Bud, by the way. So Bud Clayton, and they just said to Katie, we love your song, Whisper, that you just did. So,
good job, Katie.
Good job, Katie.
I did not do Whisper to Jesus. I did White Horse.
I'm going to go to social media and I'm going to throw gas on that fire. I'm going to have everybody thinking that.
I have to say this, or you can, Uncle Rhino. Can you say it? How about this? I'm being asked, please do not add or go to Messenger now that you know who the family members are. Like, I'm being asked to please.
Yeah, no, everybody, please, everyone, for the time being. Yeah, just love everybody and think of everybody and send light to everybody, but just hold off until you see the family reaching out. Let's just wrap around them right now. That's what the family needs, is for us to wrap around them and give them some shade and some comfort, and just let them be peaceful and focus on each other and holding each other while we wrap around them. Let's do that right now. When they're ready to make contact, they'll reach out to us. So please respect that for the family. Please respect that for his sister, his mama, and the 4 beautiful, incredible babies. You guys, I'm sorry, Malia. From 22, it don't matter if you're 8 to 80. You babies, that's what you always gonna be. My first name's Uncle. That's what you gonna get, love. So
Autumn too, even though you're both grown.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Uncle Rhino's trying to make the point that I see it, and I'm being asked, please don't try to add them on Facebook and send them a bunch of messengers now that you've all figured out who they are in our show tonight. And I'm doing what they asked. I'm being respectful and saying, please, on behalf of the show, we're friends to Jimmy. We're not a show. We're not just a show.
Yeah.
And I promised that we would make sure that family was not. They just need time. So I'm begging you, please do not try to messenger and add them as friends on Facebook. They're bombarded right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep my promise. And I'm asking all of you as wonderful people to please do the same. And Uncle Rhino's going to kick your butt if you don't. How's that?
Listen to her. So, yeah, this is one of those things. This is not a show. This is actually a family, and the platform manifested to support all the members of the family. That's what this is. Don't get it twisted. This is what we were all about. And Jimmy saw that from the inside out. He, like Kirk said, which was comical, and JB knew it too. And Jimmy came and confessed to me, it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. Well, Katie, Beth, and Rusty, they've seen it from the get-go since about a year ago. And what do you think, Katie, about Tribe?
Tribe is one of the most important things in my lifetime that I've ever got to be a part of. The way y'all took a hold of me and everybody else and just brought us in, as a family, it's really important.
Thank you for that, Katie Beth.
And you are, baby.
Katie
and
Beth,
that crazy husband
Try
too.
not to cry right now.
No, I am too. Katie Beth, have you heard of this? So remember, I was given his Google Drive, and I found a song, Girl Like You. Have y'all heard it?
Maybe he was talking about me and my hat. I don't know.
No, I don't think y'all heard it, because I actually found it in the Google Drive area, and he and I had a conversation. So, Uncle Rhino, are you familiar with it?
No, but I want to make sure it's finished, and it's something that
It is.
Jimmy would want. Okay, I want to make sure. I want to protect all of his work
Okay.
and if it's finished and it's something that Jimmy would be proud of, I want to do it. I know when you just played Whisper to Jesus, and that wasn't the finished version of that one.
No, I didn't want to do the whole thing, and I didn't want to do the finished at all. I
That
just
wasn't
wanted
that
an
that
example.
wasn't the finished version
Mhm.
of it. That first version that you've got is epic, and so
And that's
that
what
was
Jimmy has.
that one, and that's the one
Mhm.
that is, and that's for the family to have if they want it. That's epic. But
Mhm.
if you think it's finished, I haven't heard it yet. So
I have. So based on our conversations about a lot of things in life, I have "Girl Like You," Lakeland, of course, "Black and Blue." He's going to tell me. Listen, he already told me what I was supposed to play tonight, and we had talks, and that is "Black and Blue," Pearl, Lakeland, "Girl Like You," and his brand new sped up version of Ninja Cowboy and my favorite song. So I was already told what I was supposed to do. But I'm letting you and Katie Beth kind of drive right now. It's been heavy over here on the other side. So if you want to hear that,
you talk to the family. Katie Beth, you drive.
which song of his would you like to pick, please? I can let y'all hear "Girl Like You," and if you say no, I'll stop. How about that?
Run it.
Yeah.
This is so Jimmy.
Cocaine and strangers and midnight dangers, something that looks like love. Such sweet devotion, I'm swimming in the ocean, surrounded by the wings of a dove. Another bottle of Fireball mixed with that red beer, and I'm doing good as good gets. Looking for an ace, but I come up with 7, and I ain't making any more bets. So I'm searching for a girl that acts like you. So I'm searching for a world that rings true, that rings true. Mama has burgers and another round of red beer. Got me feeling like I'm feeling alright. Got all my homies and lots of cute muchachas. Know it's gonna be a good night. Another round of Fireball mixed with that red beer, and I'm good as good gets. Looking for an ace, but I come up with 7, and I ain't making any more bets. So I'm searching for a girl that acts like you. So I'm searching for a world that rings true. So I'm searching for a girl that acts like you. So I'm searching for a world that rings true, that rings true. are days and nights I feel like I could cry. There are days and nights that I could just die. So I'm searching for a girl that acts like you. So I'm searching for a world that rings true. So I'm searching for a girl that acts like you. So I'm searching for a world that rings true. That rings true. That rings true. That rings true.
And your Cowboy.
His bandmates in the studio are over there in the comments letting us know where in the studio and where he was with that. That is a surprise to you all. That is a song by Jimmy Ninja, Girl Like You. And you can only imagine the comments and talks we were having based on just the song title with Jimmy Ninja having a song that says Girl Like You. And if you knew him well enough, you knew what those words were. Uncle Rhino, that arrangement, the
I love
words,
it.
Katie
I love
Beth,
it.
I was like, I felt like somebody reached in and grabbed my heart. It was
I love it.
something. And he was trying to convey that he can be country, he can be rock, he could be his own world. And
He was a communicator. He was a communicator. And you've got people who are, I'm not going to mention names because I don't ever want to give the appearance, but you've got these vocalists who can, got 3 and 4 octaves and they can run up and down the sonic ladder all day. But then you've got Willie Nelson and then you've got Bob Dylan. And they are epic because they are communicators. They're not doing stupid human tricks with their voice. They're over here communicating life and making the soundtrack to people's favorite memories. And that's what Jimmy did. Jimmy was a communicator. His melodies, his rhythms are so unique and so fresh. They're familiar, but they're fresh and unique. And so, yeah, I was a fan early on. Pearl was my favorite, but I'm loving the crap out of that one. I love Lakeland and Ninja Cowboy too. I mean, so it keeps
I got
messing
him
with me.
loaded up. But I
Yeah.
know that would have surprised you. I knew about the song. I knew it was out of the studio. So Frank, connect with me again on back channels. I actually do know. I got a lot of messages you can hear. He'd love to do the audio message. I got a ton of them. I'm probably one of the few people who have a hard time sleeping at night, and Jimmy would be up. So I've got thousands of those little messages that he would send in his phone. So Girl Like You, he wanted to surprise everybody and go, hey, watch this. You want to say I'm not country, watch what I can do. But really he was trying to convey a message too of what he was looking for because of all that he'd experienced in life. And that one song, I thought, oh my goodness. So tonight we were going to surprise everybody and we were going to play that together and really go into the story. I really don't think we should go into the story tonight. I think we should go to another song.
Yeah.
And let Katie Beth, you know, you're talking about meeting Jimmy. We're talking about the green mustache. I've still got Lakeland. You know his songs. My favorite song that are both his and Black and Blue. Let me say this. He told me the two I better play, I'm not kidding, are Black and Blue and my favorite song in Lakeland. Whatever I did, and then to surprise y'all with that one. But he was going to be here. So I'm letting you and Uncle Rhino tell me what you'd like to pull.
Go, KB.
Do you know Black and Blue?
No, I was going to say the Lakeland.
Okay. I'll grab that one. Just don't let me forget that in big
Black and Blue is awesome, though. You'll love it.
I need to hear it. But he was like, whatever you do, when I'm on the show with you, don't listen to that. Let's go into Lakeland. This is Ninja Cowboys. Katie Beth has picked for Jimmy Ninja, Cowboy Up. Frank, to all of you out there, reach out. Here is Lakeland.
So long now that I'm tired of trying anymore. I've been locked up so long in my heart, I lost that key to the door. I'm just a three-legged dog with no home now. I got no masters anymore. I've been rolled out by life, and I know saddle sore. I've been riding this trail for eternity, and I don't want to ride it anymore. I want to lay my head down and get some rest, but life keeps begging me for more. I'm just a three-legged dog with no home now. I got no masters anymore. I've been rolled out by life, and I know now that I'm saddle sore. And I'm riding through the dust, oh man, I'm riding all the way to your house. And I'm riding all the way to Lakeland, baby, Orlando, baby, to my spouse. 'Cause if this all ends up in ruin, at least I know I was ruined by you. Oh, love ain't what you text somebody, baby. Love's about what you do, not what you say. Love's about what you do. I'm lying to myself that you're ready to be loved by me or anyone. 'Cause when you're broken the way you are broken, you just bleed on everyone. I'm just a three-legged dog with no home now. I got no masters anymore. I've been rolled out through life, and I know now that I'm saddle sore. And I'm riding through the dust, oh man, I'm riding all the way to your house. And I'm riding all the way to Lakeland, maybe Orlando, maybe to my spouse. 'Cause if this all ends up in ruin, at least I know I was ruined by you. 'Cause love ain't what you text somebody, baby. Love's about what you do, about what you say. Love's about what you do, not what you say. I've been riding through the dust, oh man, I'm riding all the way to your house. And I'm riding all the way to Lakeland, maybe Orlando, maybe to my spouse. 'Cause if this all ends up in ruin, at least I know I was ruined by you. 'Cause love ain't what you text somebody, baby. Love's about what you do.
Ooh, It's a whole different thing right now listening to Lakeland. That is Lakeland by Jimmy Ninja. Cowboy Up. Joey, Frank, every one of you that worked on this production, I thank you all for your work, and I look forward to connecting. Katie Beth, Uncle Rhino, let's keep pushing. Let's get another song in there.
He didn't sing that song. He lived it.
He lived that song, literally. That there's a whole story, and I've got the YouTube link, and I think we'll end up doing a second segment with some of the other people that are reaching out, and we'll grab that video. It's a prophetic song about the three-legged dog means something. So definitely, Joey, I got your message. He played on that with him, and he's got a video of Girl Like You. So he and Jimmy have a video to the song that they would love to share with us. Uncle Rhino and Katie Beth, you've got Black and Blue and one more in here. We all know that one, my favorite song. I've got 6 of his actually, but Katie, you have not heard Black and Blue?
No, I haven't.
Light that one up for KB because that one's awesome.
Okay. This is for everybody out there from Jimmy Ninja. Please go check out JimmyNinjaOfficial.com. JimmyNinjaOfficial.com. You can find all of his music there. Ninja Cowboy on all the platforms. This is called Black and Blue. Jimmy Ninja Cowboy at JimmyNinjaOfficial.com with Katie Beth right now, Rusty Rim, and Uncle Rhino on Two Step Tribe. Here's Black and Blue.
You could take me down, 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 down. Pummel me once you were on the ground, just the way you did when you broke my heart. No one ever said it would be this hard to let you loose, my darling. It's not a ghost in me that's hollering, like a hound dog stuck in a hollow log, like a rifle killing off a wild hog. Not a man or thing I fear. I must be dead 'cause I've been drunk for a year. And tell me how eyes are blue, and a girl about 5'2", man, hit my ass and left me black and blue. Black and blue, black and blue.
Is Black and Blue, and I was told I couldn't listen to it until I came in here tonight, Uncle Rhino, and you've heard that before, right?
Yes, I have.
Yep. I like it. I like the song. I always groove to all of his stuff. Katie Beth, what do you think? Obviously, we love it.
Yeah, the lyrics are fire. The melody is fantastic. It's very catchy and it sticks in your brain. It's great. He did a great job.
Yeah. You said it perfectly. Oh, of course, Mike. Yeah, I mean, everybody that worked on that, like, I definitely want you all to reach out to us. We did our best to reach as many as we can, but man, get a hold of us, and we cannot wait to hear from you. Yes, I know. So, Frank, I do know that, and I need to talk to you about it. So, Frank, please get my number. Let's connect, Frank. That is something that I was just talking about, and I need to talk to you. He does have new music. We were talking. He did go to a different studio, and Frank, just get a hold of me. That's what I can say right now. And I literally have my number. Yeah, it's one more song. Yeah. So Jimmy does have more music coming that I'm not going to pull because I've got his Google Drive, and I'm not pulling anything that he didn't say, do this, this, and this, Tracy. But Frank,
well, these songs you're pulling were for the regularly scheduled show that Jimmy was going to be on with us tonight.
Yes,
for full
sir.
disclosure. Yeah.
And I knew there were other songs. I knew the studio he went to. I actually am going to tell the truth. I advised him to go into Austin. I advised him to get away from a certain one genre. He had so many beautiful pieces. I knew for a fact if he connected to maybe go outside the box, and they did that. They have a studio that they went to, and they called me the whole time. It's by the lake. It's beautiful. Yes, Frank has a lot more in there that he was saying that we need to talk to about dropping music. So I'm going to tell you to reach out to Uncle Rhino.
What he did, full disclosure, because you got to be clear on that, what he did at the first studio was absolutely phenomenal. Yes. So let's make sure that we don't misconstrue that. That was everything begets something else. And Jimmy had a self-discovery in that studio, which was magnificent. Where Pearl came from and all these other songs, that studio and that setup was phenomenal. Jimmy was exploring himself as he was trying different locations and different studios, but it's not to take one away from the other. It was to become more.
I'm just sharing. Viva La Calais. I have a countryside to me, so I hope I'm saying your name right. I want you to know that I see your messages about you and Frank both have the unreleased music created exclusively. Great stuff. Even his old studio, it was basically just trying to switch things up a little bit, and he loved what he was working on. So we will definitely, I will definitely look forward to hearing from you. And this stuff from 10 years ago, we will definitely do this. And Frank's now saying, what does that mean? Frank, just get a hold of me and we will chat, is what we'll do. And let's roll through and get the songs that I was given permission to. And what he was going to do tonight. So those are the songs that I have. I will not release anything else. Frank, get a hold of us, and Uncle Rhino. We've already discussed. We know there's music. I know there's music. I told Uncle Rhino he was in the middle of something, and Jimmy did talk to Uncle Rhino in person recently, very, very recently. So I do know this. So Frank, you're valued. All of you. Viva, can't wait to connect. Tonight, I am sticking to what Jimmy told me to do. And that is why you see which songs are loaded. And I knew all about Girl. I know about the video, and you have fabulous work too. Every studio, nobody's getting slapped around here. Lakeland, Black and Blue, Girl Like You. Don't forget that one. That's one of my new favorites. And then we have in here my favorite song that a lot of people would know about, Jimmy Ninja Cowboy. And that is a song that I saw a lot of people putting out to say, and Katie Beth and I kind of talked on this, go stream my favorite song to try to support. Now, in the music industry, streaming a song does not support your artists like it used to. It's a digital era. So we'll get with you on what's going to be done. Right now, we're all just taking in a breath. And we are getting out what we were supposed to do tonight. And
What will help the artist is if like right now we have a two-step tribe official playlist, and all of Jimmy's material that was released is on the two-step tribe official playlist.
yes.
It's also played on two major media outlets, Heroes Media Group that goes out to millions. We have the Swamp 107.5 that is now 80 syndicated radio stations to 195 countries. They pull on their radio show from this playlist, and they play the tribe from this two-step tribe playlist. So that being said, Ninja Cowboy, his stuff is swirling all around the world as we already speak. Now, what to Tracy's point, in the old days when you spun a record, you were looking at 5 cents a spin. That's what it used to be, a nickel. Nowadays, it's 3/10 of 1 penny. That's what it is with streaming. So, 3/10 of 1 penny. So that's where now the way that you help them is you have to save their songs to your own playlist you've got on your own profile page. If you can take all of Jimmy's music and save it to your own person, primarily like Spotify, that's the one that most people use. That's the number one, but there's many others. But you save his music to your playlist, it'll show that you saved him or you're following him. That boosts the algorithm for his page. That will push that platform into offering him more and more and more as a suggestion to the world. If you want for people to discover him, that's the best way to do it, is to share his pages, his platforms. If you're on Apple, YouTube Music, Tidal, Deezer, Pandora, Spotify, there's so many. Whichever one you choose, if you can look up Jimmy Ninja or Ninja Cowboy, you find him however he's listed, and you push him on your pages, save him. That the algorithm will cause it to offer it up to the For You pages. It'll offer it up as music suggestions to so many other people, and that's how we can continue to push his music for as long as the internet exists.
Definitely. I know that Katie Beth is needing to jump out. She's been in the rehearsals. I did want to ask about this real quick, Uncle Rhino. There is one song that Jimmy really liked, and it's called Here I Go. And it is Katie Beth's song. Is actually Katie Beth's. And so, Frank, just get my number in there. And thank you. I'm going to go switch real quick. Katie Beth, I know that you've given us your quality time for Jimmy and at Two Step Tribe. We want to say thank you to you. We know that your time is important, but we knew that you definitely wanted to say that you and Rusty both are showing up for Jimmy, not just today, but we will continue to do so. Here I go. Katie Beth, do you have anything? Was Jimmy I mean, I know around you at every point, he would just sit there and absorb your music. And the one with the rain in it, that's what I was supposed to say tonight. Katie Beth's song, the one with the rain in it. What does that mean, Katie Beth?
So that song is Rain Our Way is probably what he was talking about.
Well, in the future, we're going to have to hear that one, because all I know is he said, oh, yeah, I want you to know about the rain song. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah, that's I wrote that.
That was after a drought, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had just had a fire. So it wasn't this last summer, but it was the summer before. And all of our stuff had burned down around here in the Texas Panhandle. And the fire just barely missed our house. It was 8 feet away from our house. And it burned down all of our pasture and fencing for our horses and stuff. And we couldn't come home for several days. And then finally, when we could come home, I told my husband, we were standing outside, and I looked over towards our neighbor's place, and they were standing in the middle of rubble of what used to be their home. And they were an older couple. And I just started crying. God, I cried. And I hated that for them, that they lost their home. And so I told my husband, I said, what are we going to do? And he said, we're going to build it back better than it was. And he said, remember that God is good, and that he's going to take this chaos and this unfortunate circumstance and turn it around for better and make something great out of it. And so that night I sat down and I wrote Rain Our Way. And then the next day we had a blizzard and we had no electricity for 3 days. So it was
That'll teach you.
Yeah.
it was because it happened. I'm trying to think of when it happened. I think it was like during March or something that we had the fire. So we were having really strange weather, and it had, we had gotten really dry and no rain, and then we had the fire, and then the next day was a blizzard, and it was just insane. But Jimmy really liked that song, Rain Our Way, and I think what he liked the most about that song that he had kind of disclosed to me was, God taking a bad situation and turning it into a good one, and just the hope that it gives you. And we may not see in the midst of being in a mess what's going to happen on the other side, but there's always the other side that comes to it. So that's probably what he was talking about, I bet.
You got it. Definitely. Katie Beth here with Rusty Mihm, Katie Beth Mihm and Rusty Mihm. Been very, very dedicated family to Two Step Tribe with Jimmy Ninja as well, which he's tribe. Meaning we're all connected close at what we're doing, no matter if you're in music or what it was. We are together as one. And the song for Katie Beth is Here I Go. And so that's the one that Jimmy would say, I want Katie Bethany to be Here I Go. And then each are like, we have long talks.
That's I can't remember if that was the very first song he ever heard me sing in person, or if it was five words.
From my own messages, I don't know, you would know, but I know that he told me that was one of the first times, that one and White Horse. It's the very first time he ever heard you up there, and he just wanted to sit there and absorb it.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I mean, he was like, I just wanted to melt into the song. And so Here I Go is one of those. And it is Katie Beth's song for those of y'all earlier.
That one is
that one is hers. And it's called Here I Go. And it's special to Jimmy Ninja. So we're going to play Katie Beth's song. I know that she's been here, a trooper. We all would be, and we still will be, not just tonight, but every day going forward. This is Here I Go by Katie Beth Mihm. Katie Beth, thank you for sharing your time. And for all of us that we're all looking to honor and keep Jimmy alive. It's not just tonight. It's going to be always. Here's Here I Go with Katie Beth Mihm.
You bet. Thanks for having me, guys. I love you guys.
Call me to rest when the morning comes. You'll please everyone but me. Here I go, walking away. My heart breaks when you beg me to stay. Here I go. beg me to stay. Here I go, walking away. You might be better off without me at the end of the day. People always give their 2 cents until they walk in your shoes. It won't make any sense if you stay or if you go. No forgiveness, only you can show. Walking away, it shows your heart, so take a new start. So here I go, walking away. My heart breaks when you beg me to stay. Here I go, walking away. Might be better off without me at the end of the day. Here I go, 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 go.
I love that. That's one of my favorite songs of hers. I'm very partial to that one. She knows I've worn her out over that song. I love that song.
We love that song. That's Here I Go by Katie Beth Mihm. Y'all go check her out. You can check it out. She's on Instagram. They've got their site. She actually has an app. So you can also download the app for Katie Beth. Katie Beth, let them know where to find you.
So
Now, I will tell you, I'm going to interrupt something real fast before you get off onto the app because I want to be able to find her. But on that song in particular, I put my money where my mouth is. Y'all both know that already. And I can't tell you how many times I've jumped on the telephone and I didn't hear what I was wanting to hear. And I called somebody all over the United States as well as across the Atlantic Ocean because of that damn song right there. And just so everybody knows, what happened with that song over in Europe, Katie Beth?
it hit #1 in country music.
Here I go. That's what she's saying. Here I go. And Jimmy was excited about that too. So he was super stoked about you being #1 over. It's the UK, right, Uncle Rhino?
Yeah. Well, it's not. It starts in the UK, but it's Italy, it's Germany. Yeah, it's all over Europe.
Like all Europe. Yeah.
All of Europe.
All of it.
He was super excited for you. So again, Katie Beth Mihm, where would you like for them to go? I just like your app. It's cool.
It is cool. It got me. It took me a little bit to get used to it because it was. I'm not really like technologically inclined, like Rusty is. So if you go get on your browser because it's not in the App Store and type in katiebeth.myapp.to and whenever you get on there, download it to your home screen and subscribe to it and fill out the contact stuff. And we will actually send you a free MP3.
There you go.
And we've got a lot of good exclusive content on there. We've got a song on there right now called Where the Neon Is. And
the Neon Lights.
Yes. And that's a great song. And it's not out yet. So
that's
you
got to get on the app.
Is on the app. Yeah.
Yep.
And as far
She
as
knows what she's doing. Y'all better get the app.
TikTok and Instagram is going to be Katie Beth and Cowdy Rose. Facebook is going to be Katie Beth Mihm. And we have our website is www.katiebethmihm.com.
Yep. And that's Katie with a K, everybody. So I'm just making sure on air, on radio, Katie Beth is with a K. Beth is with, just like it sounds, Mihm is the last name. Katie Beth Mihm. Check that out. So Katie Beth, we appreciate you and your time. What would you like to say to us before we say goodnight to you?
I want to thank you guys for having me and including me in this, deal with Jimmy. And he really meant a lot to us, and we love him very much, and we love his family and the boys and the girls. I haven't got to meet the girls yet, but I'm sure I will love them also. But
they're amazing. Yeah.
Anybody that's from Jimmy, has been great. So I can't imagine anything otherwise. But it really, as bad as it hurts to lose a tribe member, we've not been through this that I know of yet. And it just is a terrible thing. But I know God has a plan for everything. And, we may not see it right this second, but I know, there's something. I feel it.
And he's going to play at an event where he was honoring other people's kids. So I hope he's up there. I know he is. He's right up there with the kids and with Two Step looking down at us and saying, Ninja Cowboy. And I know mine's over there going, yeah, Two Step. We're going to do it. They're going to cowboy it up big time now. So I know that he is. I know he is just, his spirit is so large. Bigger than life. So Katie Beth Mihm, I know that you know that, and we appreciate you for showing up tonight.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
We're glad to have you. And remember, everybody out there, life is short. And I learned, someone else said this, every 30 seconds something happens that someone could make a decision, and in that decision it could affect every one of us. I've had a lot of them. I never heard someone explain it like that. And that was Uncle Rhino when he said it. He said, every 30 seconds, someone makes a decision by, I'm going to use an example. Maybe they're driving in a car and they're distracted and looking at their phone. You just never know. There's a lot of things that can happen in life that you don't even think about. So always say, I love you while you're in front of someone. Always hug them and always say, I appreciate you. And Katie Beth, we appreciate you. We love you.
I love you guys.
I can't wait to see you.
I can't wait to see y'all.
I know. And you look great too. Keep rocking those pants.
She's beautiful. Yeah, give Rusty a kiss on the mouth when he thinks he's about to get lucky. Tell him that's from me.
I will always.
Yeah. All right.
I'm about to go snuggle with him in bed. And
all right. Well, tell him we said hi, and he can connect to Tony, but we'll connect to Frank Fisher, Joey, and everybody on this side for music. So Rusty might even know them better, but Frank and Joey worked on that album. So we'll figure it out. They've said, Uncle Rhino, that they want to figure out how to come do his song. And
we'll link up and work out those details. Yeah, we'll put all that in motion. We'll just got to connect.
Yes.
Katie, we love you, girl.
Love you.
I love you guys too. Love you.
We love you. Oh, Uncle Rhino, as we're wrapping up here for Jimmy, we still have my favorite song, which we know is a big one for everybody out there.
I want to play that one, and if you would, all the photos that we have of Jimmy and the kids are just the kids. I want to run that because this music thing that we're all talking about tonight, that was something that made his spirit so happy. And it was something that he could create and share with the world. But I want everybody, at least in our conversations, the way that when it came up, the way that we discussed it. And so often we don't share it with the ones that it's meant for the way we should. But his greatest legacy, his greatest project of his life were those 4 beautiful kids. And if it wasn't articulated as much as it should have been or could have been, we're doing it now. And you guys were the greatest joy of his life. You were the absolute greatest joy of his life. And if that wasn't ever clearly communicated, we're doing it now because he's not able to say it himself.
Most definitely. And thank you. Shout out to Chief. He's in the middle of monitoring and getting rid of some of the things, those comments, so that we don't have everybody going back and forth. JimmyNinjaOfficial.com is where I'd like for you to all go. You can actually purchase his book, and he's very proud of that book. So I do want to tell you to go to his website. And I'm going to do, as Uncle Ronald just told you, he's got this song here, and that is Jimmy Ninja. And we love him, and we always will. And my favorite song, we're going to play this, and then we'll roll through some pictures. So again, those of you who are on radio, go check out Two Step Tribe on YouTube, the number 2, Two Step Tribe on YouTube. You can also just go to our website, twosteptribe.com, number 2. Please don't spell it. Two Step Tribe, YouTube, and our website. And you can actually see the pictures we're going to roll through here. We are very interactive with our audience, and we appreciate every one of you out there everywhere listening to Two Step Tribe and taking part in this tribute with us tonight, which is so important. Here is Jimmy Ninja, and it is My Favorite Song. That is the name of the song. My Favorite Song.
Keeps on blowing, it's like my own heart, I'm always knowing. It's driving me insane and it keeps on showing. Cause of our love, girl, we keep on growing. We're growing up strong, growing up long. When we sang together, it's my favorite song. 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 Come on. It's like a hurricane, man, it keeps on blowing. It's like my own heart, I'm always knowing. It's driving me insane and it keeps on showing. Cause of our love, girl, we keep on growing. We're growing up quick, quick as it comes. Beating our heads on the ground like a drum. We're waiting for what? We're waiting for who? If someone's gonna save you, it's gonna be you. 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 Keeps on blowing, it's like my own heart, I'm always knowing. It's driving me insane and it keeps on showing. Cause of our love, girl, we keep on growing. We're growing up strong, growing up long. When we sing together, it's my favorite song. 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 My favorite song.
That is My Favorite Song by Jimmy Ninja at JimmyNinjaOfficial.com. More than just a song, more than just a story, more than the tribe. A human being that was close to my heart and everybody else's that has been in here tonight. Our hearts are with you. I don't have words that will ever take this away. I can only say we're here. And prayers are going up nonstop. He would say smoke and prayers There's a meaning behind that. Smoking prayers, and it's talking about something with my son. It has nothing to do with smoking, but we just want you to know that Jimmy was very, very excited for us to do a show with only him. I'm not kidding. He literally begged me and said, Tracy, please, can I have my own show?
Not only did he get the full 2 hours, but we're going for 3. And it's all about the Ninja Cowboy.
So you know what I'm talking about, because he told me in my message. I told Uncle Rhino too. I want to be the only artist. I said, I know, Jimmy. I already know. So I thought that was hilarious. I've got all these video messages. He talks in his phone. So, and he literally is talking about you, how he's had, I'll have to send them to you sometimes. Like, I talked to Uncle Rhino and I said, it needs to be one, just one. And when I come on, Tracy, no more artists. I'm the only one. I said, okay, Jimmy, I will make sure that your part of the show is only you. And then if we have our other person, because we do have 2 hours, folks, we usually have a 2-part to our show. But Jimmy, you're always going to be in our shows. It doesn't end. There is no ending. In my world, there's no ending. I can look around and say, I feel you, and your energy is so strong. I know that sounds cliche, but as a mother who lives it every day in that upside down world, I'm telling you, it's what gets me through the day. Whatever helps you. Reach out to us. Uncle Rhino, here we are towards the end of this show. And we've had Kirk House pop in. We've had Katie Beth. We've had Tony Cox. We had Gabriel come in talking about the dojo and the MMA and how proud he is of all of the different things. My favorite song. Now, my favorite, and I want to see how you want to end the show, but at the very end, we'll do a moment of silence rather than our show ending. But before we do that, in radio, we've got 6 minutes. So I'd love to hear from you, Uncle Rhino. What would you like to do? Play his song, Girl Like You, so it gets ran again? It's the only way it's going to get played right now.
Do we still have Ninja Cowboy, the sped up version?
I do, the brand new sped up version. He wanted October 3rd. I've got it right here.
I would like to say something. I'd like to have a moment of silence, and I'd like to go out with that song. Because for me, I didn't have the luxury of having years and years and years with Jimmy. Thanks to Cynthia Dawn Anderson, she's the one that made the introduction, and it was a beautiful one. She introduced us, and Jimmy was everything that she said he was, and he turned out to be an incredible, beautiful friend. And I was blessed for the small time that I had him. And I hope to extend that to his beautiful family, his amazing sister, his beautiful mama, and his amazing, gorgeous, sweet, precious 4 incredible kids. Our door and our hearts are open to you guys. And there'll be a time when it's right for you guys. There'll be a time. We don't always have the luxury of having people as long as we want them, but we are grateful for as long as we do. And that little bit of time for me and everyone else in the tribe, I can speak for the rest of the tribe comfortably and say that for us, the Ninja Cowboy will ride forever. He'll never get old. He'll never get sick. And if we lost a part of our body, a leg, and we would never, and live to be 1,000 years old, we would never quit missing that leg. But you will learn at some point to stand up and walk without it. And that's what we have to do for those who are no longer walking beside us. We have to walk for them. And so for Jimmy, Chaikong, our friend, the Ninja Cowboy himself, we will continue to carry you, sir. We are grateful to have had you as long as we did. And save us a place, because we will meet again.
Most definitely. So, Uncle Rhino, I think what we'll do right now is we'll go ahead and do the moment of Silence, and then we're going to end with Ninja Cowboy, the new version of his song. He sped it up is what it did. So I'm watching the clock here. Let's take a minute, and I'm going to take a moment of silence here for Jimmy Ninja.
Ninja cowboy, is that you? Some say it's so, some say it's so. Like a samurai swings his sword, I swing my soul, swing my soul. 'Cause everyone who ever loved me fell away, fell away. And everyone who ever loved me wish I'd stayed, wish I'd stayed. La 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 la. And the wind she laughed, ha 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 ha. And the gods said no 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 no. And the wind she laughs, ha 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 ha. Ninja cowboy, sit down here by my side, by my side. Pull yourself up out that cage and don't you hide, don't you hide. 'Cause everyone who ever loved me fell away, fell away. And everyone who ever loved me wish I'd stayed, wish I'd stayed. La 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 la. And the wind she laughed, ha 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 ha. And the gods said no 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 no. And the wind she laughed, ha 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 ha.
Back talking to you too on both platforms. We're wrapped up on Two Step Tribe tonight. Prayers up, whatever it is that you say. In my world, I say God bless you and your family. Hug your loved ones closer every day. And Jimmy, you're never far away. You're always with us. We thank you for tuning in. Please share more about Jimmy with us. This isn't the only time you'll be seeing Jimmy with our show. It continues on. Uncle Rhino, last words?
Love and light to all of you and your families. Not enough just to think about someone, call them and tell them you're thinking about them. You are somebody's entire world. Make sure that they know it. Make sure that they know that they are yours. Love to you all. Have a good night.
Most definitely. We're going to close out here. We're on multiple channels, and we want you to know Cowboy up, Ninja Cowboy, making sure I do it right. You got to do it the way so Uncle, can you do it the way that he did it? There'd be like a
Here you go, Ninja Cowboy up. You do that on the end. Yeah.
There we go. Good night to every one of you out there. Good day, depending on which part of the country you're in. Thank you from Two Step Tribe. Shout out again, Jimmy Ninja Cowboy. Go to jimmyninjaofficial.com. Thank you from the Two Step Tribe, your family. Good night.